Ladies and gentlemen, it all led to this. This is Kind of Funny's DCEU in review. That's right. We are ranking and reviewing every movie in the DCEU universe. I'm Tim Gettys. This is Andy Cortez. That's Kevin Coelho. We got Greg Miller.
Hi.
We got Nick Scarpino. First time full cast.
We're all done.
It's great.
Yeah.
We added the trash to our group right here.
Unite the five.
Now, let's...
Save the
six.
ocean.
It wasn't a six?
Well, we're five.
Oh, I see what you're
Only
saying.
five.
Here's my thing. Can you make him, Kevin, invisible again? Would it shock you that I have no idea how this is happening? How can it see the wall behind him? How can it see through him? I get. Do we have a still image? I don't know how this is happening. I'm so confused because I thought I got it. Like I see the weatherman. When the weather-man does it, yeah, sure, no problem. Right now, how can I see the fucking shit? All right, no, it is an image. It is an image. Okay. Oh my God, I was so spooked for a second. I was like, wait, I don't understand.
You did this 2 weeks ago. Every time we do this, we take a screenshot before anyone's in here.
Gotcha.
So if you notice, Barrett, go ahead and.
You guys are artistes, man.
The
Artistes.
camera is still here, or the
Sure.
mic is still here.
Okay.
You see?
I
You
see it. I
You
see it.
Whoa.
Because yeah,
Ladies
you
and
had
gentlemen.
me fucking going. It's like, how
That is
can we
amazing.
see through it?
I always get tricked though, Greg, when I why can't I see
Yeah,
my hand
yeah,
behind
yeah,
it?
yeah.
I always get tricked. Yeah.
This is DCEU in review. You can watch it live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. You can watch it later on youtube.com/kindoffunny. You're probably going to want to watch it. Just letting you guys, all you audio listeners out there on podcast services. If you want to listen, though, that's fine. You can just search for Kind of Funny Reviews. We're there, too. Roosterteeth.com. We're there. Also, if you want to get the show ad-free, patreon.com/kindoffunny. You can go there, get the show ad-free. You can also be a Patreon producer, just like so many of you did. The nanobiologist, Frank Furter, Mohammed, Justin Toft, Das Bear Jew, Blackjack, Jared Brown, and Jameson Shafransky. You guys are all stand-up citizens. We appreciate you very, very, very much. Today, we are, in fact, talking about Justice League.
Boo!
Released on October 26th, 2017. Same year as Wonder Woman. Didn't remember that.
Huh.
Felt like
How
they
much
were
did
a
you
lot
remember
more
about
apart.
this movie in general?
All of it.
The good moments.
All the good moments.
All of it.
It's got a bunch of cool moments.
I don't
Bubble.
understand how people could be super critical of this movie, but like actually try to defend that Batman v Superman was a good movie.
Because this is a
100%.
bad movie.
I think this has moments. Granted, I think this movie's not great, but there are moments where I was like, well, I'm having fun. I'm having fun watching
I
these things
I
like
think
fight.
this movie has like the coolest moments in the DCEU so far.
Directed, once again, by Zack Snyder.
Yeah,
Ish.
asterisks. Release the
Give
Snyder
me
cut.
your asterisk, Greg. What do you got for me? With the you probably know more
Release
than
the
I
Snyder
do.
cut. Well, yeah, they weren't happy with his work, so they brought in Joss Whedon when Zack had to step back for a Death in the Family, and then kind of like re-edited the whole fucking movie to have it have no soul and look like nothing.
Oh, it looked like something. Budget of an estimated $300 million. Justice League is one of the most expensive movies ever made.
And it shows. It really shows.
Box
Yeah, it's all
office.
his fucking face.
Box office of $657.9 million, which at the time was the lowest DCEU box office. A runtime of 1 hour and 59 minutes. Due to a running time backlash of past DC movies, Warner Brothers demanded the movie be under 2 hours without credits.
Thank God.
Yeah, they did it. They
We
nailed
did
it.
it. The
It was
thing-
in.
the thing
It
about
was
this-
You
out.
don't have God to thank for this movie.
The thing about it is like I know all jokes aside, people say like release the Snyder cut, but I honestly think that Joss Whedon coming into this made this movie coherent. I think this movie would have been a jumbled mess if he was allowed to finish it.
Absolutely.
There's so many things in this that I'm like, wow, what? There's so many elements just thrown at you. Not the least of which is like the thing that sticks out every time I watch this movie is he goes to the fucking far north, right? Alaska, wherever the fuck he is, to this small little village.
King Tide brought
To
in
find-
this man and some fish.
to find Aquaman, and this is really, for all intents and purposes, the first time we've ever seen Aquaman in like a live action, like on the big screen. And it just he's like, I'm trying to find this guy.
He's right
And it
there.
Cuts over to him. He's like sitting right next to him.
In
He's
the
like,
wide shot, he's right next to him.
he's just
You're
right
like,
next to him.
oh,
You're like, wow, this was a fucking mess. Like
then-
there was no possible way Snyder was going to make this fucking some sort of coherent
But
thing.
now,
Wait,
see,
wait,
again,
hold on.
hold on. No, that's exactly the problem, is that's not Zack's scene. Go watch the original introduction of Aquaman in the trailers. That's not how they introduce him.
In what way?
That's a reshoot. Go watch the trailer. Like, it's not him standing there like a moron, being right there and having it all be face to face with it.
Well, like, here's what I'm saying. Joss Whedon, very capable, competent filmmaker, obviously, right? He gave us the Avengers.
For the record, I don't hold any of this against Joss Whedon. I know that there's a lot of people on
people
the
need to
release
stop
the
doing
Snyder
that
Cut or
shit.
whatever. Like, no, he
It's not like
got brought in to do a job, which was to, hey, bring
to
this thing in
clean
under
it
2
up
hours
and to
and
make it
this
fucking make sense.
Yeah.
And he made it make sense. It just sucks because I think what he was working with just wasn't there to begin with. I think that the plan, the blueprint for this building was fucking flawed to begin with, and he just kind of was like, okay, let's get the doors in, the windows.
This goes
in,
back
let's
to my
make
whole
it
argument
livable.
throughout this whole thing, though, is that yes, the blueprint sure is flawed because people don't like it or whatever. But the problem is it was flawed starting with Man of Steel. Like the way they did this and handing Zack Snyder this much power for better or worse, we got to let it go. You know what I mean? Let him go on
I know, but yeah, at what point do you cut your losses where you go, wow?
Not in the middle of this fucking movie, because then you get this movie that's just nonsense.
To be fair, I don't think it's nonsense. I think this is way more coherent and way more straightforward of a plot than
It's
Batman
100%
v Superman.
straightforward.
Yeah.
Hey, we need to go there. Next scene. All right, we're there. All right, now we need to go there. All right, we're there.
Yeah, my thing is, I think this movie would be a lot more enjoyable if we've seen tons of movies with really weird plot beats and scenes that really don't make a lot of sense, where you're left kind of wondering what the hell's going on, really. But when the characters are fun and personable, it's made better. And I didn't really like this movie had really maybe 1 or 2 scenes that made me go, huh.
Yeah, there's not the
that's cute.
chemistry. Is
Like,
Well,
there's just no chemistry.
But the problem with that is because the characters weren't established going into this. That's the big.
Also true.
That's the big problem. It's not necessarily that they laid this at the feet of Zack Snyder and said make something awesome. It's that they didn't look at what the success that Marvel had and realize why that was so successful. It was so successful because we got to know these individual characters over many, many movies before they all got together. They all were in each other's movies. We're getting cameos. We were falling in love with Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. We were learning who Thor was. We were figuring out who all these characters were.
We're getting their
In this one,
dynamics, you know?
you literally have a movie where they were trying to give you backstory for 4 different characters in this. Like,
And
it
to the
doesn't make
argument of the
any
Snyder Cut,
sense.
they cut them all out. Like Victor Stone's whole thing of him being a football player and all that shit that ties into the Batman v Superman of them watching it, why the cops are watching it or whatever. That's there. That's film.
But that's-
and then they
but-
cut it out. Instead, it's just him fucking
Yeah.
in a sweatsuit yelling out the window.
And here, but here's why.
feel like
Because
we got
I
enough of
guarantee,
that, though.
I
Like, we
guarantee,
knew that.
but I guarantee someone looked at it and was like, "This doesn't make any sense anyway.
yeah.
This is what's an extra 5 minutes? This guy needed 2 movies. This guy needed at least a movie and a half for us to actually get to know who he is and his backstory. But unfortunately, Cyborg's backstory not that interesting.
In the early
Could've made it
drafts of
interesting, but-
the script, Victor Stone was supposed to have suffered his severe injuries as a result of Doomsday's rampage through Metropolis and Batman v Superman.
which would have been cool.
Why? Yeah, why not just do
Totally
that?
would have been a lot cooler than what they did. I feel like I was saying a couple weeks ago with I guess it was Batman v Superman. It's like watching these movies week to week make all of them a
Like-
little bit more enjoyable for me. Where I'm like, oh, this feels a bit serialized in a way that like I get who these characters are and I remember the actors, and it's like
Sure.
the relationships, like Superman's mom and stuff. It's like seeing her again in this. Not that she did anything spectacular, but it's more just
Sirens
like,
aren't
okay, cool. I remember you, as opposed to watching Justice League years after the other movies. And it's just like, oh, I get you're his mom, but like I don't care about you. Period.
You didn't,
know?
you didn't like the part where she called Lois Lane thirsty. I was like,
It was
all right.
funny.
You know, the
Whatever.
thing is this: the
totally
movie,
shot in just like the office cafeteria because Whedon's like, we need to give them something. Let's go.
it's like it's very weird, and I'm the one kind of person that I liked those moments. I like when he tried to actually make this a fun movie. I like that the movie has color to it. What's sad is that they clearly didn't design the costumes to be colored this way, because Superman costume looks like this actually in like the broad light. That first shot, I never noticed it before, and I'm like, wow, that looks so bad when you brighten the
It's
image
so
and make it
interesting.
poppy.
It has all these like
all the
weird-
white lines
Yeah,
drawn
it's
into
like,
it.
Why do you have that?
It's
On the
because
tech
they
side,
designed it to
the
be
image
crushed.
quality of this movie is horrendous.
Horrendous,
And it's insane because Zack Snyder was in an interview talking about how he was like, oh man, I kind of fell in love with the IMAX format. So I want to replicate that, but I don't want to use IMAX. So did you notice it's full frame?
No.
Yeah.
This movie's full frame. And it's not IMAX.
So quick question.
Why would you do that?
I have no idea.
I couldn't tell if it was like my TV settings or something, but I was unfortunately I was streaming this like 4K HDR and shit, but like all like the last act was all just like super red and orange, and I feel like that's the first time I've ever experienced that.
They've done comparisons with the trailer, those images in the trailer, and then when they recolored it.
Yeah.
Those images weren't supposed to be red. Like all the sky and all the shit being red and all colorful.
was-
If you look at it in the trailers, it's super crushed and it's like kind of blue. That's it.
I watched it in 4K HDR from the disc, and it was one of the worst looking
Yeah.
4K
Okay,
movies
cool. I
I've
just wanted to
ever
make sure
seen.
like my TV wasn't fucked. Like I've never noticed it on anything else. So I was just like, what is happening?
No, I mean,
But it makes all those elements stand out more. It makes the
Yeah.
CG look worse. It makes
Well-
the costumes look worse. It just literally
And it
makes
sucks.
the whole thing fall apart
And
visually.
so I can't blame Zack Snyder for that because obviously if you have all of your pre-production going into an image that's supposed to be look one way, like I don't think people understand that you can't just all of a sudden recolor an image. Like all of your costumes, all of your sets, everything's like on a movie this big, you get your team together and go, this is the look we're going for. The cinematographer does like test images. You do tests with the costumes. They'll go as far as like all the sets that are a specific color because when you color it, it needs to look a certain way on the screen. When you go back and recolor that and you just decide, it's basically like putting a saturation filter on a Photoshop image. All of a sudden you're like, whoa, I can see shit that I was not supposed to be able to see in this because that wasn't the intent. And that's the entire last half of this movie.
Aside from a lot of like the awful reshoots, there's one scene that really stuck out in
When she's
particular.
standing on the fucking statue at the beginning.
I mean, there's a lot of bad looking stuff, right? Just visually, in terms of like, this is clearly CG or whatever. But there's the scene where they go back to Batman's like cave or whatever. The
Batcave, yeah.
and
Yeah,
he's
they invented
working
it
on
for
the
this
ship,
movie.
and all 5 of them are in there, and they are all green screened in there.
Yeah, that's terrible.
It's real, and it seems like there's a scene where Wonder Woman and Aquaman aren't standing next to each other.
Yeah.
But they are,
And he walks behind
together
her.
in the scene. It
Yep.
just looks all.
It's the
real
same thing
bad.
with the reshoots for what they did with Aquaman's introduction that we were just bitching about. Where when Bruce Wayne walks outside and it's like, oof, that's not how that looks. There's a shot if they have people moving around behind
like,
him. Not to mention that I don't know, and somebody else who keeps up with the Hollywood gossip would tell me more about Ben Affleck and like he went through a rough patch, right?
Yeah, he was
because in the
getting a
reshoots
divorce.
he's way heavier enough that I'm Greg Miller, an idiot, going like, why is Batman heavier here than he is there? Wait a second.
During the production when he was still attached to Batman, like one of the kind of final shots to his version was that he went to rehab for alcoholism. So he was definitely not in a good place at this point.
Yeah.
Talking more shit about the visuals. There was a moment where you see like after Superman comes back to life and he goes to their farmhouse, like where it's just like you guys couldn't have actually figured out how to just shoot this. You had to like key him on there.
Yeah.
Well, that's my
'Cause,
problem
like,
too. Is
it
I feel like
looks so
there's a
bad.
lot of shots that I think they did shoot them, and then they just colored them so poorly that it ended up looking bad. Like that's what I'm talking about with the image quality.
Because
It's
they were
like they
cutting
shot a lot
between
of this
him
shit.
and Lois looked like she was there, and he looked like he was very much.
Well, some of
composited.
that-
This is
some
again
of
the
that
whole
was him
problem.
composited in.
Exactly. The whole problem here is
That's
like,
the
yes,
problem.
this is what we're talking about with this movie not being the movie that Zack Snyder wanted, nor the movie that Joss Whedon wanted, right? Of like, no, they did shoot the whole thing of them, I'm sure. I shouldn't say that. I don't know that for sure. But the original thing of them and what they release of, in what you're talking about, certain scenes in that part of that whole overall scene is for sure that, yes, they are really there. And then they are not. And we got the shitty fake mustache. And it's like, or, digitally erased mustache.
You gotta
But, like,
yeah. It's a really.
But Mission Impossible 6 is great.
that's why I can never fucking,
Fallout
I can
was
never, I'll
phenomenal.
never
But-
forgive them.
yeah,
I will
this is-
never.
It was so good.
So there's so many conspirators here that's who when my Assassin's Creed Barry Goods happen, that's who I'm going after.
But
all the people who fuck this movie.
So here's the craziest thing to me of this whole thing, right? They go, we got to get this guy back. Oh, we can't shave his mustache. Okay, cool. So they do this effect, and clearly doesn't work. This effect clearly just an abomination, stands out. It takes you immediately out of the movie.
I don't think it's that bad.
I don't think it's that bad either.
You
The
are
whole
crazy
movie
people.
looks like
fucking
You are
nuts.
crazy
It is-
people.
The whole thing takes you out.
follow me
You're
on
never
this.
in.
No, follow me on this,
That's
right?
true.
So they go, cool, this effect is not that great. We can all agree it wasn't that great, right? So should we, I'll give you guys the choice. A, start the movie with that effect. Or
First
B,
shot, first thing.
not start the movie with that effect. What do we choose, Twitter? What are we going to choose? Why the fuck did they have that in the beginning at all? Well, I was born in Kansas. It is dead. My dad always said, I'm like,
it's
what
supposed
the
to change
fuck
the
are you
tone,
doing?
man.
It's so simple, right? Because
it out.
the rest of the fucking movies didn't establish Superman to be this force you need him to be at the start of the way you're trying to fucking make this.
Well, you
picture.
mean like the whole when we start with that somber song and the entire world who
Classic Zack
previously
Snyder shit. Love it.
hated
I love
Superman
it.
and feared him, now everyone's so sad that he's gone, and you're like, what?
gave
Like, my
his
wife
life
was
for
watching
this
it. She
thing.
was like, I thought they didn't like him. I'm like, nobody knows. Nobody knows if they liked him or not. Nobody knows what happened. He fought one thing, and all of a sudden the world. everybody knows it. I'm like, London's fucking mourning this guy. Fucking Russia's mourning this guy. Like, did we like him? We don't know.
And they had
So-
some Pixar voice actors talking to him in the beginning. It just felt like little kids in Pixar movies.
Yeah.
What was your favorite bone?
Oh, it's our podcast.
Terrible.
Well,
But then again, really quick, just to get back to that music part. Again, like I'm watching that and I think, man, Zack Snyder wants this to be so cool.
Yep.
And it's just falling flat, dude.
And
It's
that's the thing.
awful.
I know Zack Snyder has hit and miss moments, but it's like his music moments, for the most part, work. And this is an attempt at like trying to be the cool parts of Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's not at all. And like, think about what I just said.
God,
like
that's upsetting.
Cool
comparing
parts
it
of
to
Sucker
Sucker Punch.
Punch,
Yeah, but I mean,
Jesus.
there are moments in that movie that are dope as fuck that are set to music.
Yeah.
But this is just like, it just doesn't fit in this world. I didn't hate this movie. I hated it when I first saw it in theaters. Watching now, I was like, whatever. It was over fast enough. I was definitely wished I got more from a lot of the scenes. The fights were fine, serviceable. The last fight was not cool at all. And it just ends, and then the movie just ends. And you're like,
No,
oh,
there's a cute little race, you know.
I like that. That was fun. But I'm saying, like, it just feels like they're doing so much, and then the movies, there's no kind of like
Resolution.
What's gonna? Yeah, there's no resolution. Like, what's happening?
They're gonna
now?
have a big table in Wayne Manor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hall of
whatever.
Justice is Wayne Manor.
Yeah,
Now,
the sad thing is this movie's so tonally weird and structured so weird that the entire thing should have been built up to like the last, like the climax should have been them bringing Superman back to life. Because they should have been like, we're
wasn't it?
barely beating Steppenwolf. No, because what happens is they bring him back to life, then he goes away for a while, and then he comes back. And
Totally
the
normal.
reason they do that is because they were like, fuck, there's no tension in this. If he comes back to life 30 minutes before the movie ends, it just beats the shit out of Steppenwolf. Like, then everything these characters do for the last 30 minutes is useless because we just want to see Superman step in.
And again,
so, like,
remember,
it was
this
totally
is
poorly
WB
made.
snuffing it out. Because this is supposed to be Justice League Part 1, and then there's supposed to be Justice League Part 2. Steppenwolf is a minion of Darkseid. He is coming to prepare the world for Darkseid, or to prove himself to Darkseid. He says Darkseid fucking once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Superman is supposed to come back in his black suit with the silver S and everything. We've seen some million pieces of concept art, right? And then get involved at the end. Maybe be part of the anti-life equation. Definitely, probably end on a cliffhanger, if not super sad. Endgame, the other one, Infinity War thing. But no, WB freaks the fuck out, makes a movie by committee, and everybody hates it.
Yeah.
Universally, nobody likes this movie.
Yeah,
And,
and
that's
that was like
exaggeration, of course, I know.
And that was like a weird decision, I think, before this movie even came out. Like they had shelved part 2.
They started backing off that super
specifically,
quick.
specifically for Batman. Yeah, so weird.
Yeah.
And then that never
Didn't
happened.
they shell part 2 immediately after Suicide Squad 1 or Suicide Squad bombed?
That sounds.
Google
vaguely
it. Yeah, look
familiar,
around. Bear,
It doesn't
thanks.
matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyone else have any thoughts before we get into the plot?
I fucking hate this movie. It's ruined my week already.
I don't know how
Such
you
a-
hate it. That,
yeah,
I
it's
guess you hate it that much
crazy.
because you care that much. Like that makes
No.
total
But it
sense.
I
has
get-
such cool moments
No,
that like
I
we
think it's really
otherwise we
bad.
wouldn't have
I
seen.
think it fucking.
I don't give a shit about the cool moments. Like this is fucked everything. It took two of the
This
greatest
fucked everything.
fucking DC characters, right? And they're fucked. They are fucked, Kevin. There is no Superman
Yeah, but
movie.
that-
There will
but
not be another
nonsense.
Superman
But
movie
sadly,
for at
first
least
off,
7 years.
there will be.
Ben Affleck's
But like
fucked.
that's the thing. Next time there's a Superman movie, they're gonna be able to look back and be like, "Oh fuck, these are the
Don't do
mistakes
that.
that we had. This is how we do better."
Hey, they reference a penguin. Though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you're right though. The problem is this is not the thing that put the final bullet in the DCEU. This is a sort of a symptom of the bigger problem, which was Man of Steel. Man of Steel started this whole thing. The tone of it
Batman
started
v
this whole
Superman
thing.
was the
Batman v
problem.
Superman
Can
was
we
what
just
to me
all-
was what started nailing the coffin shut when they started having Batman kill people. When they decided to put the fucking Gotham City and Metropolis right across the bay from each other. When they decided to just basically throw out all of the foundation of DC Comics in lieu of fucking lazy writing, and then I don't know, and they decided to basically really the people who are to blame for this are the fucking shareholders of Warner Brothers because they were like, we need money right now, and you gotta imagine that someone's like, we need to take our time with this, and we need to build this universe, and we need to really develop these characters, and someone was like, but money, and they go, but okay, but we should make a Superman movie first, then a Batman movie, then a Wonder Man movie, then a Wonder Woman movie, then Aquaman. Like, Jason Momoa is so good as Aquaman. How awesome would it be if we actually saw him before this, and not just a fucking random scene where he's just, hey, I'm here.
All right.
I'm clearly Aquaman. And you're like, yeah, I fucking know you're Aquaman. You got a fucking. Why is there a fucking Stonehenge drawing of him, a cave drawing of him on the wall? Who are these people? Have they never seen civilization before? The guy's had a fucking button-up shirt, but he's like, caveman drawing on the wall. What a weird thing.
I
feel
agree
like-
with you. It's the shareholders' problem and their fault. Yes, they should have done this slower. They should have done this the right way. And then they shouldn't have put all their eggs in this basket if they weren't going to be committed to it.
Yeah.
They're on the fucking ride.
Why are we bailing out Wall Street?
Thank you, Andy.
But I mean,
Going after the-
but the problem is
you know.
this though. Like the ship started going south real quick, and I like.
The
What are you
ship
gonna
was-
do? You see this? People go, "This is horrible." What do you keep throwing bad money after good?
Which part?
This movie for a part 2 on this? You're gonna really go like,
Here's
fuck, if
my
I were
problem.
directing this, I'm like, cancel the whole fucking thing.
Here's the
We
thing we're
fucked
talking
up.
about as we watch this, though, right? And correct me if I'm wrong. Totally tell me I'm a crazy person. That's fine. But we talked about it with the box office, right, and all this other shit. Like Batman v Superman made its money back, right?
This made its money back.
I mean, like yeah, but this is the one where everybody's like, oh my god, no, and like stepped away
Yeah,
from
but
all
not.
this.
But that's the thing is like when it comes to the money and making it back, like that, it's when you compare it to the things around it, which is MCU. It's like that's what they're looking at it in comparison to, not to itself, right? Like
Yeah.
they all flopped, but they also made a fuck ton of money.
And
It's just they flopped in terms of what the goals were. What,
Sure,
like,
well,
you
but
don't
that's
put
my
this
whole
much
thing, right?
money into these movies,
and it's
not
what I've talked
expect
about at
triple,
length on this show, right?
quadruple.
It was like, don't get me wrong, Suicide Squad fucking sucks. I'm not including that. I'm including Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, right? And then the Snyder cut of the Justice League, right? Of, hey, we've come this far, we've done this much, we have sunk this much money into this thing, and again, the whole problem here is that I believe the movie execs behind this whole thing, and whoever's pulling the strings kind of thing, just don't have the balls for it. They don't have the taste for it, right? They should have known in the beginning when they introduced a Man of Steel and it wasn't fucking Superman being Superman, that hey, this is a fucking choice that we're making, and we're gonna have to defend this for years to get it to where it needs to be to
Yeah,
go with what we're doing.
but I think
And if
that-
you're not gonna go that way, what the fuck?
But I think that's the general problem right there, right? It's the same thing we've seen with other big franchises like Star Wars, where it's like unless you have the guy or the woman at the top who really understands the vision and really wants to bring new filmmakers in with new ideas and can help kind of push that into the same direction, you're gonna wind up with this 100% of the time. Too many moving parts, too many different cooks in the kitchen, too many people wanting to make money. Like
Look, we only have
terrible.
one example of it working. Like we
Period.
keep going back to MCU because that is literally the only time.
And
this
the
has
reason it
ever
works
worked
is because of
in
Kevin
history.
Feige, and he came. And the reason it works is because they made those movies
That's
before
the
they were
reason,
bought
right?
by the big conglomerate company, right?
Yeah.
They made those movies, and it wasn't. It was Marvel, and who was the one that released Iron Man? Was
Paramount.
It was
Paramount,
Paramount, right? And so you had. It was not that big of a gamble, and you're throwing some money into it, and it wasn't that big of a production, and
Just
you got
to
the
see
right.
if it works.
You got Jon Favreau, you got Robert Downey Jr. And like let's do a little. Let's have some fun with this.
I think
and it started small. This one started at the fucking top of Mount Everest. They were like, let's fucking go for broke here, and no, that's not how you do it.
But I mean, I don't think this started at top Mount Everest. Like this started with Man of Steel, and I feel like their problem was that they were like, Zack Snyder has a vision. It wasn't a good vision though.
Well, that's what I'm
But,
saying. Is like
they wanted
gave
to be
him
different.
hundreds of millions
Yeah.
of dollars, and this was a huge tentpole movie. Iron Man coming out was like, oh, this could be cool. I remember distinctly going, I don't know if I'm going to see that in theaters. Right? That's how little cultural impact Iron Man had on me. I was like, Iron Man? Why the fuck would they make an? I remember watching the trailer, going like, that was a cool trailer, but why would they make an Iron Man movie? What a fucking weird C-level Marvel character. And then I walked out of that going, they just started something fucking huge. They have a little bit of something right now. They got
I don't think
momentum.
that's true at all.
Dude,
I think it didn't turn into a thing until like a couple movies.
I
in.
remember
It was like, oh,
walking
they're
out of that
actually
movie
building.
going, that was fucking cool. Don't fuck it up. But like beyond that, I'm like, whatever. Then
For
another
me,
movie, then another
I
movie, then
feel
another,
like
and they
I
build
feel like
momentum
that's
and they
flipped
build
the
the
narrative.
world.
Like Iron Man, great movie, but I feel like when it came out, it wasn't a don't fuck it up. We didn't even have
Yeah,
the
the
concept of
concept
it
of
being
it.
fucked up. It was just like, please do it. Like it was like, please get
That's
to
what I'm
the
saying.
Avengers.
They started building that little momentum. They started building it. They had a little bit of something, and everyone was like, okay, you have my interest. What's going on next? And then granted, they came out with Thor, and you're like, okay, well,
Yeah,
that was a
that's
big
the
step
thing.
back.
Yeah.
But then they
Also,
got
Still better
Hulk
than
came
Hulk,
out
though.
after that.
Better than Hulk,
Well, that's
yeah.
not true.
Do you guys remember when Zack Snyder like held everybody at gunpoint to tweet out release a Snyder cut? What was that all about? Like Gal Gadot is tweeting release a Snyder cut, and Ben
Momoa.
Affleck is
Momoa, yeah.
Momoa. Everybody's really like, what was that all about?
maybe he had like
I think they
nudes
like.
of him or
I
something.
think they. I mean, like I can't. There's two things I'd love to see. Right, I'd love to go and be a fly on the wall for when Zack Snyder walked into Warner Brothers and pitched everything. Right, and it's just like, yeah, I'd like to do Man of Steel, but I think it could be this, and it could be like, do you have any plans for a universe? He's like, oh fuck yeah, and he lays out 4 movies right there that he's like,
This is going to be the
man.
best 10-part documentary.
I don't
ever.
think
Exactly,
I don't think
but,
that's
like-
him though. Like I don't think like
Yeah.
he's not Kevin Feige, and like I don't even know if Kevin Feige was Kevin Feige when the first 5 movies came out. You know what I
so
mean?
what?
What I'm saying is like I can't imagine him going in there. Here's my pitch for 4 movies. I think he was like, oh, here's Man of Steel. I'm gonna go this
Yeah.
totally different route. We're not gonna be MCU. We're gonna be like this is gonna
But what? Yeah.
set a tone.
But the idea like walking in, if I don't know shit about comics. I'm probably the person who's read the least comics sitting at this table.
Nah, me.
But if you walked into, maybe me and Andy, but bros, but Burn Blue. But if you walked in and said, Nick,
Burn Blue.
the DC universe should be dark and gritty and fucked up, I'd be like, I don't know a lot about the DC universe, but I don't think it's supposed to be dark and gritty and fucked
How
up.
could you say that? Like
No,
coming
yeah,
straight
Have
off
you
the Nolan
seen a
trilogy?
Superman movie?
Yeah.
Have you watched
Nolan
any
worked.
of the
Did you see
animated
Superman
properties?
Returns?
Have you watched any, like, it's Superman, for Christ's sake. And the Nolan universe worked well because it was the antithesis of that. They went in and they said, we're going to make this grounded, and it's going to be we're going to try to be realistic, but you can't build a universe that way.
And they
'Cause at the end of the day, you cannot fucking make a grounded superhero movie, because once you start putting superheroes in reality, you start seeing how it's way too fucking the real world's way too complex for this shit to happen. And that's the problem with this movie is they were like, let's make it real. I'm like, no, this should be Superman. This should be hyper real. This should be so fucking cool and colorful and beautiful and amazing. And then we can contrast that with Batman. But then let's go to Aquaman. Let's go to Wonder Woman. These are all like symbols of hope. That's the whole concept.
Well, the
I
fact
don't
that
know.
they attached like the Nolans to Man of Steel, I think, was trying to show like, hey, those things worked over here. This is also going to work over here. Like, so trust us.
But I don't know how many more Nolan movies you could have made. Like, you can't have Superman in the Nolan universe. That's the problem. How do you
You
put
could.
Superman?
I don't think
you
that's
absolutely
true.
cannot. You
I-
absolutely
I
I
cannot.
think
that's
I
true.
think you totally could have, and I think
with
that would have
good
been a
writing,
better Man of
yeah.
Steel.
Yeah.
I feel like putting Superman in the Nolan verse, it just fundamentally wouldn't work. It
Guys,
just
real
wouldn't.
quick, does Tim looks like Magmar, right? Kinda.
Yeah, Tim. Yeah, you do.
He looks like the Noid.
That's what I was thinking the
Yeah,
entire
yeah.
time.
Oh,
We had
yeah.
gone purple and full annoyed.
Oh, I was thinking the Zoras in Link to the Past, where they're in the water and they come out,
Oh, yeah.
little eye things. Yeah,
But no,
yeah.
it's the same thing. I mean, like, yeah, I think it's important to be back in that section of time, right, when all this is getting pitched. And yes, they still want to ride the coattails of Nolan and be it grounded.
Well,
which
obviously,
turns
because
into
Nolan was
gritty.
the quote unquote executive producer on all of these, and you're like, God,
And
he
I
must be
also
rolling
think it
over
is
in his fucking
the fact
British grave
in
right
that
now.
moment,
He's not
right?
dead.
They're sitting there looking at MCU and going like, well, cool, we can't be them. We
Right.
can't be colorful. And I think
Why not?
Because I bet. I mean, it's
Why the
easy.
fuck
Because then
not?
you're an imitation.
Well, fucking how
You're
many?
not. You're Batman
12
and
years.
Superman.
12 years into it now, I think, yeah, of course not. But back then, a lot of people were waiting for the bottom to fall out of superhero movies.
That's true.
I get that, but guys, we're talking about fucking
I'm not defending the decision. Nick. I'm just
Batman.
giving you the information on why I
You're
think it
talking
happened.
Yeah,
about
but like you're a Batman fan.
Batman and Superman are arguably the number one and number two all-time fucking most popular superheroes ever.
Yeah, sure.
I guarantee if you went anywhere in the world and showed the bat symbol to someone, they were like, Batman. I know fucking Batman. I know Superman. I know these two characters. Like, you have two of the hottest properties, period. Why the fuck are you why are you even worried about Marvel at this point? Make a fucking Batman. We just got, again, to your point, we just got done with the Nolan trilogy. That was amazing. We can absolutely tell amazing stories with these two characters. Why are we choosing to be totally opposite from what's also working right now?
It's because they took the wrong lessons from the Nolan trilogy. They were like, all right, dark grounded universe for everybody works. No, it works for Batman
For
because
Batman,
that's
it
what
works.
Batman's supposed
Because
to
that's
be.
Gotham City,
Yes.
and we've always seen that. You're absolutely right. But then Superman has always been this beacon of bright symbol, like sun shining. I mean, for Christ's fucking sake, he works at a place called the Daily Planet that has a fucking like Christ like
globe.
gold globe behind it. You know, it's like why would you think you can take that character and make him dark and gritty? Is just beyond me. It's so antithetical to what that character is.
I think that you could. I just think that like you'd have to make slight variations where like it kind of feels like we're in a golden age, like Superman, the indestructible, perfect guy. Where like it would have been cool in the Nolanverse to see a really toned down where he like isn't like the strongest. Like he can't just punch a building down.
We can argue all day whether or not Superman vlogs it could be that, but the fact of the matter is, like, whatever they decided to do with him was it was flawed from the get-go. And again, I applaud Zack Snyder for trying to make something different, but I just feel like if I was thinking that movie, I'd be like, what's the long-term strategy with making Superman, like making this whole world so dark and not fun and like destructive? You know what I mean? Like how are we going to build up to them being in what's the thing in the space? The
Watchtower.
The Watchtower. And have that be like cool and
These guys go to
and
space?
Yeah.
Eventually,
Fuck,
yeah.
that's crazy.
That was
You
going
know,
to happen in Justice League Part 3, but we never got there. Released the Snyder Cut.
And again, I think about this in terms of like you're going to eventually go galactic with this, right? We're eventually going to see like the
Lanterns.
Green Lantern Corps. We're going to see all sorts of crazy stuff happening in
them.
space. Like we need this to be a little bit more lighthearted, guys. Otherwise, people standing on a watchtower in costume is going to be really fucking weird. It's going to be really weird. And I think the reason why the Nolan verse
that'd be
works so
cool.
well is because it was grounded. His suit was real. You did feel like he was flawed. Like we find We find Christian Bale's character. We find Bruce Wayne in the beginning of Rises, fucking fucked up. He can't fight anymore, and he has to do it one more time. And it's so twisted, and they deal with really, really fucked up moral issues and themes there. This doesn't need to necessarily be that, right?
I mean, I feel like it would succeed most if it was that, though. Like, that's when you hit on that other level where it's not just a superhero movie. It's like people look at it as a good movie, and that's why I feel like with at the end of the day, the only thing that would make me put Batman v Superman over Justice League is that at least it tried to do an interesting story. Like, at least the Batman v Superman concept was cool. They totally fucked it up, and it was grounded, and it was a cool idea. It's just like the motivations from the beginning were like super lame. But had the writing been stronger, there could have been a good movie. You know, and whereas this one like didn't really. All it tried to do was like let's get them together and then let's have them do a thing. It's just like it is total paint by numbers of just like let's get to the point where they can all stand together with music playing.
And that's where I go back to this argument, or my argument personally, of just this is a soulless movie, right? Of like, and I understand, like your Warner Brothers, I understand, we've talked about it, right? But like, oh man, people are not having a good reaction. We're not having a good relationship with Zack Snyder anymore. All right, he's stepping down. We're bringing in Joss. Let him do it. Like, you say like, well, what do you want to do, and how would you put it out? I'd rather put out the artistic vision and then be like, we're done with it. Everybody didn't like it, blah blah blah, or then put out this thing where it is just like super paint by numbers. We're literally, I mean, when they're reactivating Superman, you're like, oh my god, this movie's over. Fuck, we got there quickly, right? And Steppenwolf has no motivation, no character anymore. What the fuck is he doing there? You know what I mean? Like,
so generic.
His
dude.
name's Steppenwolf.
Not only that, but you're like, what do these 3 boxes do? What are we trying to do?
Unity. We're making the
What
Unity.
is the mother? What is this?
We put
what the
we
fuck
gave
is
this
all
these
of
rings
this
to the
stuff?
elves. We gave these rings to the fucking doors. We gave like it's totally like everybody. The civilizations get their own mother box.
It's just so
bad.
much. I mean, Tim, you talk a lot about like show don't tell. Like, there's so much of this movie where someone's just telling you what happened before, and then Victor's like, I'm telling you what happened to me. This is
I'm
why
in a
this
computer
thing.
now.
And then
I
Barry's
have all the
like,
answers.
I got hit by lightning, and I'm doing this other thing. It's like, granted, we know all
Barry's
these
was good.
characters.
That's a bit reductive, but yes. Like, you know what I mean? I'm
But,
like,
like-
I'll get to that in his own
But
movie.
that's the thing, like, and again, we've seen the Flash. If you want to see a really fun like Flash origin story / first year, watch
Season
the CW
one.
show.
Yeah, season one is
It's
I like the Flash
good.
a lot in this
It's
movie.
cool. I don't.
I don't.
I really feel
I
like
do too. I think he's fun.
He had moments
like-
that didn't hit, but I think
Yeah.
overall he was fun. I think they used like him being fast in a way that is different than other fast characters in superhero movies. At this point, a very oversaturated thing between X-Men and Sonic even, and like all these different
Yeah, it's weird.
elements.
It's weird to say like I didn't like the Flash in this movie, but he's probably the thing I liked most about the movie, which
Yes,
shows like
right?
which shows kind of how I feel about this.
When he's good, it's really fun.
Yeah.
That he has the most fun moments in this movie where he pushes the thing back, where he trips, where he does all
Grabs
that
the
stuff.
battery.
But then there's moments where he's that guy that you didn't want to come to the party that showed up and is now staying too long. You're like, just shut up.
Yeah,
Just
he
stop.
remind-
But I
like,
feel like that's
fucking
his character.
interjecting
I feel
Watching
like
it-
that's his
watching
character.
him, I
That's
just
not
think
the
of-
that's how he
that's-
chose to
that's-
do it, but that's not the Flash character. The Flash character is always the comic relief. That's totally fine. They made him a little bit more introverted. That's totally cool. He decided to play that way, but he just was so extra in moments where I'm like,
Yeah.
God, I want this kid to. I want Ezra Miller to stop.
Well, it's not
talking
like the
right now."
actors decide how their characters are
Oh,
going
for
to be,
sure.
right? It's
Well-
usually a director being like, give me a little more of
But
this.
it just reminds me so much of watching it, and it's so hard to not compare it to Tom Holland as Spider-Man, the goofy, fun-loving kid who's in over his head and super naive to all of this, and
But
you
totally
watch-
endearing the entire time because
Yeah.
he's the audience and he's going through this whole thing with the audience and you
Yeah.
put yourself in his shoes. Yeah, that's perfectly placed.
It's
That's an
hard to
example
not
of
do
an
that.
actor bringing some acting chops to the role and having a great director. Be
I
like,
think
I'm going to
that's-
help you. I'm going to help push you into this direction.
It also is an example of like good writing. You know?
it's
Where
good
they
writing.
develop a-
Great, yeah, great
Everything this
everything.
movie lacked.
Yeah. We got God.
So-
God. We got God. This movie sucks.
Under no circumstances are we doing anything fucking fun to introduce this train wreck on the show, right? So yeah, why not? Let's just open it as Nick said with the worst fucking effect in the thing. Here's a cell phone video, of course. Why not just film with the real cell phone?
And awful
Have some
acting
fun.
all around.
Terrible voice acting from these kids on
Awful
there.
acting
And
everywhere.
then poor Henry Cavill.
Poor Henry
his
Cavill.
Final,
Poor
his
Henry
final
Cavill.
fucking time getting to wear this suit is going to be this train wreck where they want to let him save his fucking mustache. Stupid goddamn Mission Impossible garbage.
Best
So
movie, dude.
good.
What a
Last time?
great
So
movie.
goddamn
You're not gonna
good.
put Superman, you think?
No,
so
Kevin,
good.
we
Remember
are
when
not.
he cocks his arms?
Really
wow.
You know that.
No, I don't.
Don't fucking question it. You will never see Henry Cavill as Superman again.
Poor Henry Cavill.
He's there with his fucking blurred out mustache, talking to Hope and talking about fucking all this other, just
It's
on
like
a
a
kid's
stream.
podcast.
It winds through the woods.
Exactly. All
Cut
this
shit
shit.
house.
Like, I want to know
What
who
are you
wrote
talking
this.
about? You're talking to kids.
bit-
The kids are like, blue. I understand primary colors. That's what I understand. You're talking about fucking Robert Frost, The Road Less Traveled. What the fuck are you saying, man?
And again, like to Kevin's point, right? Of like, there's like great scenes in this. There are, right? And like you watch this, and it's like, man, his suit's bright, and he's even though he looks like some kind of, I don't even, yeah, not even. I don't even know what he looks like, but it looks like his lip is receding as we watch. You know what I mean?
God.
Like whatever, like the lines in the stream, you're like, all right, cool. That's a very Superman thing to do. A very DC Comics
Very
Superman.
lame Superman thing to do.
Not
man.
a fucking, not this guy, not this guy. This is never how the Superman's ever talked in any of these films.
And also, the way he delivers the lines makes it feel like he doesn't believe what he's saying. And he's kind of thinking of it up as it goes of like, what should I say to these kids?
It's really bad.
It
Really
was
bad.
Not good.
And so, yeah, then guess what, everybody? He's fucking dead. All right? Here's the rest of the,
Everybody.
here's the world mourning.
This montage is
Let's
so
just go
bad.
through a real long montage.
Such a terrible AMV from like 1998, dude. Really
Exactly.
bad.
We're at his military, you know, never extinguishing flame. We got that. We got London. They got a fucking thing over here. There's a couple other countries I don't recognize.
There's a-
People
Queen is
are
over
sad.
there. Fucking.
Yeah.
There was an
Right.
Easter egg here.
Yeah.
One of the Gotham scenes during the prologue has a building with Janus written on it. This refers to Janus Cosmetics, run by Batman's enemy, the crime boss Black Mask. And then on this website I found this. Black Mask is set to appear in Gotham City Sirens.
There you go.
There you go.
That became
There you go.
Birds of Prey, of course.
Yes.
And so, yeah, everybody's fucking sad. Great. Awesome. Cool.
I'm
Superman's
super sad
dead.
at this point. I'm feeling all of the like this somber tone is just hitting me, Greg. I'm
And it's,
crying in
you
my
know what it
room
is? It's
already.
because you knew this character so well, you know? We all feel like we were so close
Well,
to
if
Superman.
I remember so
for the
much
one
when-
and a half movies we've
when
seen.
Jonathan talked about the winding stream instead of just being like, I don't know, let him die.
Yeah, I know. Maybe, yeah.
I
kill
don't
him like
fucking,
a
I
kid.
don't know. Dude,
Maybe be a
oh, my
badass.
mom said be Superman or don't. You don't know anything. What the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway, so now we're in Gotham City. There's a character actor who's in a lot of stuff. What?
I'm just picturing Kevin Costner in heaven, like maybe you deserved it.
Yeah, that's how it is. Yeah. This character actor's up there and he's robbing a building. And
Oh, yeah.
Batman's in the reflection
Guy
there,
is
the
everything.
window or whatever, and then the window closes and Batman's not there, and it's like what? And then boom, Batman jumps down. And he's fighting some
Dude.
stuff. and
See,
it's
how
just-
cool does it like? While the visuals of this movie are so bad,
the deep side, the deep.
just the, like
Where's Kevin going with
just
this?
Batman hanging on the side
Dude,
of
it
the
was
building
fucking
like that is
awesome.
fucking awesome.
cool.
There
Like, that
are
looks-
screenshots of this entire movie of Batman that look awesome.
Yeah.
No, so
This,
I will
he
argue.
looks like
There's a
such
lot
a
of problems.
fucking doofus in every goddamn scene he is in. I don't understand.
It looks like he's sitting in
how-
a Barca lounger the
Am
entire
I
time.
like? And again, I know I'm Greg, and I'm Batman v Superman crazy or whatever. I don't remember when we reviewed Batman v Superman, us being like, "Man, he looks like garbage." They did a good job of hiding it for the most part that he's a dude in a suit. My main problem with Dark Knight Rises, not here, not here. This is fucking Ben Affleck again. God bless him. Overweight in some of these scenes in this bat suit, being stiff as fuck.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is they made the fucking arms of this suit so big. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, I don't think he was overweight. I think it was just
I
like
just
the
think that-
suit
How did you guys not
physically
like
was
notice
weird.
this in Batman v Superman? Because
No, no,
that's where the
I
problem
remember-
started.
I remember feeling the suit was a little bit exaggerated in Batman v Superman, but in this one, there's just moments where he's standing there where he can't put his arms down, and it just.
Well,
he
we
does
just in
not
Batman v
play.
Superman, we just didn't get the shots of him
Yeah.
maskless in the
in the
thing.
like second suit.
Yeah,
skin
yeah.
suit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
which
second
I guess
suit
it's
was
trying to make him
weird.
more grounded or whatever. To Barrett over there, like Batman v Superman, I disagree with. I thought he looked cool in it. Like even
Yeah,
when
I
he
thought he looked
scattered
cool.
around and like when he did have the warehouse fight with
Yeah,
everybody.
even like the first shot of him where he's like,
No, we
really
talk shit
high,
about
he's
that's
like,
a weird
that was a
fucking
stupid
choice.
shot.
But that wasn't me being like, that's Ben Affleck looking dumb. Like this whole movie is that's Ben Affleck looking dumb.
Yeah, and then but you know to make things worse, this actor that they put aside from him, I think is a guy from the Netflix show about murder mystery.
Yes, it is.
No, and not Netflix.
Yeah,
No, it
Netflix.
is. It is. It is. It is. Fuck. The one they're not bringing back after season 2 and everybody freaked out. And Lucy James has that great gift for her.
Oh,
reaction.
Mindhunter?
Mindhunter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's Mindhunter
It's-
and Fight Club.
He
Is he
was
not,
in
is
Fight
he not
Club.
in Outsiders too?
No, that's
No,
not.
but
Yeah.
again, but this guy, it's not his fault.
Also-
I just think it's the writing of him where, like,
Oh, yeah,
No,
he's
no.
terrible
he's,
in it.
he is doing the Ice-T thing from fucking the NCIS or SVU or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Asking the
well, what does that
questions.
Law and
mean?
Order.
How does this?
Yeah.
Who is that? What are their intentions? Like,
Also-
And it just
why are you asking so many questions?
You're a criminal. You're a common criminal.
Did you guys get the feeling at the end of this that Batman and this guy became friends?
Yes.
Because the guy's like, I don't know, man. You did a good job. Batman's like, let's get a beer.
Hey,
You want
Batman,
a beer?
what are you doing?
It's because
man.
he's gone, right?
He let him go.
They know.
Why would he let him go?
There's an
This
IHOP
guy was still
open. You
robbing
wanna come
people.
down?
That guy is a
idea.
good actor.
Was
and
he not
it's-
tied up anymore?
Yeah,
and
he was still
and it's
tied
just
up.
one of those
Was
things
he?
where
He's
I
dead.
think
I thought
that
he
He's dead.
this.
He was like this the whole time.
Maybe, but he get out of here.
I thought he just walked up and was
Yeah.
like, "So what does this mean? Where are those aliens come from? They come for us, Batman? What are you doing later? You going to IHOP? They got a pancakes deal. That it's like, what are you doing, man? Like,
Yeah,
go
but-
away."
Okay, so to say a couple positive things about this scene, I like how they have Batman move. I like how he comes in from above. I like there's another moment later in this where Gordon does the bat symbol, right? And he's looking up into the sky, and there's like this piece of shit like thing that they've hung out there, like, you know, everything's degrading.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like,
the tarp.
like a tarp, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's been fucked up, and it's flowing in the wind, and as it flows, it comes down, and when it goes back up, you see Batman, and I'm like, that's such a cool little touch that they did that, because my biggest critique with all of the Nolan movies was that Batman never does anything that's actually Batman. Like when we see Gary Oldman do it, like put the bat symbol up, he literally is standing there, and the Batman just walks around the corner, and you're like, that's the coolest thing you could think for him to do. That's theatricality and deception. It's just like this. Hey, I'm here. I'm over here.
we
you know?
we did get the cool little music sting though. Wasn't
Danny
it like the
Elfman.
wasn't it the
89,
animated?
yeah.
Well, we got that, and
What
we
was
also
that?
got.
Oh,
the,
it was 89.
Well, 89's later for sure. Maybe I thought it was.
But I think they were all the 89.
was
yeah.
both.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But
They
I
also-
so I like that I like how he uses the grappling hook. I like how he fights this guy. It just makes me sad that they didn't lean extra like into that and make a Batman movie with Ben Affleck where we got to see Gotham City. It's the same thing. I know everyone had criticisms of, but I liked his cameos in Suicide Squad. I was like, seeing him on the top of a fucking cool neon purple car. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is cool.
Diving in the water? Yeah.
diving in the water, doing all the. I'm like, why,
Again,
why
I didn't
did
feel
I
like
get
he
this?
looks dumb there. He looks dumb in this movie.
But like he did a cool backflip in this movie off
What a
the
waste
water
of J.K.
thing.
Simmons. Man.
Kicked the
He
dude in the
did
face.
do
yeah, I know.
Backflip.
Huge wastage.
Well, also he was. I think they were doing reshoots at some point because I'm like, wow,
Why did he get
that
so
wig
jacked?
looks really bad.
They could have just put J.K. Simmons in as Batman, right? Like just super jacked.
Just fucking
Well, I just don't understand why he got so jacked. At no point does he take his shirt off.
That was weird.
So
Right?
That was a
J.K.
very
Simmons?
weird
Because
thing.
he got
Snyder cut. They all go to an island.
I think,
They all have a beach vacation.
I think we gotta accept that J.K. Simmons just wanted to get jacked.
No, I mean, that's cool.
on him.
That's
Hey, I'll do this, but I need a personal trainer for 6 months. I'm like, all right, I guess, whatever.
Yeah,
That's
this
a-
scene to me was like immediately you start this movie, the horrible Superman thing, and then you jump to this, and it's just like once the parademon comes, I'm just like, I don't want to watch this.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
that was the first moment. I'm like, I don't want to see you
mistake.
fight this
It's a
thing.
mistake.
Like this is
But
not
also,
interesting. This is
I-
my least favorite part of the last movie.
I don't know how to. We're gonna get to that in a sec with my thing, but I don't know how to say it. You guys will know it better. But for me too, it's the fact that this entire scene looks fake. Like I don't believe we're in Gotham
whole
City,
thing.
that we're on a real
It's the image
rooftop. That
quality.
it's yeah.
Oh,
A lot
see,
of it
I
is-
like that.
A lot of it is lighting as well. It looks like a set. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like.
I
a
think,
set.
again, I think they brightened it up. I think they came in and said this is going to be way too dark. Let's brighten this whole image up, and it made it look. You literally see the back wall of the soundstage. You know, you're like, what the fuck?
I don't know,
don't
man.
need-
So much of this to me feels like this was Zack Snyder's decision.
think
This
so?
looks more like a Zack Snyder movie than the last couple have. Like think about 300 or Sucker Punch. Like this has those qualities. This has that element of it doesn't look like live action. It almost looks like it's a cartoon.
It, reminds
sorry.
me of the set, the beginning of The Matrix, where she's like running on the rooftops, and you're like, if you look close, you're like, that's definitely on a soundstage. Even that movie did it much better.
I'm fantasizing now about like an Into the Spider-Verse style 3D animated movie where it's like the animated series and it's that vibe and that style.
That'd be amazing.
I'm just fantasizing about
So
it now.
here's my question for you guys though. Why wasn't this like the first time we saw a parademon? Like it was such an interesting choice where he's like, he's hunting these things down. I'm like, why wouldn't there? How much cooler would the scene have been if he's thwarting a robbery and that he gets attacked by one of these fucking things and he's like, what the fuck is this thing? And that's what sets him on the road of having to be, wait for it,
Detective.
a detective and figure out what the fuck's going on. All we get out of this scene, the whole point of this scene was to show us the 3 boxes and the weird siren that why does that happen in this scene? Is he doing that or is someone else doing that?
I think someone else is doing that, and then he discovers that that's because he's
So there's
trying
just
to
a random
no, he
British
was-
siren happening and like
He was testing it out. Remember?
Was he?
Because later he
Yeah,
goes
that's
and
a
he's
weird little
talking to
thingy.
Albert, and he's like, "We're gonna need
Albert?
bigger." Alfred. Alfred.
Herb Albert.
Albert.
He was talking to Alfred, and he was like, "Hey,
my butler Alberto.
we're gonna need to hook it up to the bigger speaker."
Just to confirm, because it's what I thought, but I don't want to talk out of turn here because I know how many people take it super seriously. The scene we're talking about on the rooftop is a Whedon reshoot. That was not real. That was not in there beforehand.
The rooftop with Batman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jeez,
I wish
The one
we had
you like
gotten-
that, you feel like that, the Zack Snyder
I'm not talking about that scene. I'm talking about as a whole. Which even if they reshot it, they shot it in that style. That was Snyder's decision to do those style. That's why the entire movie looks like that. Like the entire movie looks fake. There's not a single scene in this movie, a single screen that's like, oh, this looks like an actual film. Everything's oversaturated, real life at all. It's all oversaturated. You can see the layers of composition, and it looks simultaneously flat and like there's 32 different layers happening at the same time.
Anyway, he fights the parademon and figures out.
He
that-
smells fear. He smells fear.
How do you
This
know
is a new
that?
plot point.
How
that's
do you
been
know he
added.
smells
Doesn't
fear?
matter.
Come up, we get him stuck to the wall. He explodes, but he leaves those 3 boxes on the wall. What's that all about? Oh, some interesting shit.
We're
here
hot
in
on the trail
We're
now,
hot on the
Greg.
trail, everybody. You know what I mean? I think I'm going to insert it here. I'm not sure if it's 100%. I don't think we jump right to Alfred, but maybe we do, but I'm not going to do it. Instead, we're going to jump to the Daily Planet. We're checking out what's happening there. It's Lois Lane making some coffee for Martha. She's there. Hey, Martha, your name's Martha. That's cool. Oh, man.
Remember that?
Yeah, you're thirsty. No, hungriest reporter. Ha ha ha. Since he's dead, I just write fluff pieces all the time, as shown by me not telling this person my source, which she wouldn't do. But then I just do this now. This is a fucking weird take on Lois Lane all of a sudden, but okay, sure.
What was the guy's like? Hey, Lois, who's your source on this thing? Like, what? Is that common? When you were a journalist, people just constantly be like, "Give me your source, give me your source, give me your source for this thing."
I mean, they would ask for an interview subject, but it wasn't like I was covering fucking NASA, selling hot rods.
NASA selling hot rods. Yeah,
That'd be a big story.
That'd be dope.
to the Russians.
That'd be a huge story. If not,
Drag racing. That'd be cool.
yeah, but I mean, yeah, it's. But I mean, it's the whole thing is to be shown that Lois is wounded, right? Like,
course.
he's asking for this source because it's her story, but he has to do it because of this.
Right.
And once I'm just sad because no one's here. They're just having 2 gal pals having a cup of coffee. You know what I
hanging
mean? Martha came all the way to fucking Metropolis to have this conversation.
Yep.
Great, awesome,
Yep.
cool. Oh, her house is lost, by the way. That happened in the fucking everybody's sad about
sad.
Superman.
Yeah, she had to
Everybody's
move
sad.
out of her piece of shit farmhouse.
Right, yeah.
Move
It's too
into
much
the
space
city.
for her. She's closer to the diner now, which you may remember from Batman v
Right.
Superman. They're all super
CBS
sad.
bought that land. I made a lot of money.
Yeah.
Hey,
Good for you.
just jumping ahead, but talking about the goddamn house. At the very end, it's like, oh man, how'd you get the house back from the bank? I bought the bank. Fun line, but like, why didn't you just buy it from the bank? Like
Yeah.
that makes no sense.
I
That's
know.
how rich he is, man.
Yeah.
Get it, but,
He said
but why
that,
would
yeah.
Superman, Clark, why would you ask? How'd you get it? You bought it, because that's what happens with houses.
That's a funny line.
Yeah, it's a funny line.
What's
Well,
your
it's like,
superpower? Rich.
well, imagine how the conversation would go. Bruce Wayne walks in and he's like, "Hi, I'd like to pay off the Kent home," and they're like, "We'd love to, but we're gonna make way more money on that being a Superman museum because that's Superman's
Yeah.
house. Everyone knows that's Super. Remember when Zod threw a truck through it? Remember right now when you're about to buy the bank and go there and he's walking around without fucking glasses, moving the entire fucking house back in?
Yep.
Remember that?
Yep.
And then he's gonna go put the glasses back on.
Also-
and not to mention too much. Maybe all Smallville knows, like we said, all Smallville's cool, right? Alien saved us a million times. We're dope. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Then fucking he's out. Superman's out there, fucking ground zero again, fucking up the Justice League. Lois gets out and runs past 2 cars like Clark, or maybe
yeah.
Batman does it. Clark.
Yeah.
And it's like, so is that? And then he puts the glasses back on and puts the suit on
You
to give us
think-
where the movie should have fucking started.
Greg, do you think in the IHOP over there in Smallville?
Oh, Pete's out watching through the
but
blinds.
Do you think Pete's drawing like hieroglyphics of Superman?
Yeah, bringing him his
Just so
fucking
people know.
endless pancakes.
Didn't they kill off Clark Kent in the last one?
Yeah,
Wasn't
oh,
that
yeah,
the
oh,
main
yeah, yeah,
concept?
yeah.
How the fuck are they going to explain him coming back from the dead?
That's a really good question.
They're not. He's not gonna. Clark. You got to imagine Clark Kent is still like. There's no way to bring back someone that died. You know.
These are all the
So at this
questions
point,
why
he's
you
just
know
gonna be
no one
Superman.
cared about this movie
Remember-
and the fact there will never be another Superman movie.
Someone
with
stole
Henry
it.
Cavill.
So what was your fucking grand plan for bringing Clark Kent, the character, back, who Superman spends half his time
Me,
being?
WB, to make fucking money and get everyone to stop being a bitch about the movies. Oh, you wanted that? Oh, I'm sorry. You wanted the 89 theme and the Superman movie theme? We'll put them in this movie for you. Are you happy now? Oh, you hate this more than the other ones. Fuck. Fuck.
First off, the moments where the action was happening and you heard that theme was awesome. That was fucking
Unearned.
Why is Wonder Woman
course it was
calling
unearned.
Superman Kal-El?
Trying to calm him down.
But like, when did she learn that name?
Fucking, there's all
They had a
sorts.
relationship for what of
she works in
30 minutes
museums,
while he
Kevin.
was dying?
Exactly, she works in museums. There's a lot of
She
biographies out now.
sounds super sexy saying Khaled.
No, it's hot. No, it's
Yeah,
super
it's
hot.
super
But it's just one of those things where it's like, he just learned that name like 3 weeks before he died, right?
Good
Also,
point.
hasn't it been like? Hasn't it been
6
like?
months, 2 years.
Yeah,
Whatever.
how long is
Yeah,
it?
it's been 2 years. 2 years.
3 weeks, 6 months, 2 years.
But what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter. No one, he's fucking.
Yeah, you're right.
Lois Lane wasn't like, "Ooh, Kal-El, come in here," you know?
I'm sure she was at some point.
Kyle coming here.
Yeah.
There it is.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Come on in. Come on in.
Just don't come too hard. I'm just gonna blow the fucking brains out.
Blown out the window.
Jesus.
All right,
Anyway.
fucking Jesus. So
Someone
yeah,
asked for a
that's
source.
happened. Yeah. So now let's go to Batman and Alfred. It's Bruce and Alfred, right? And this is where I really think Ben's head is just as big as a fucking basketball. I'm not. I'm just saying these.
No, I know what you mean.
And he's up there
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
to Jeremy Irons. He's like, "All right, cool. We got all of Lex's notebooks." You're like, "Oh, that's cool." And like, there's a lot of boxes in here. And like, they got boxes down
There's a
there.
box. There's a box. There's a box.
What are these three
It'd be great to
boxes
see these
mean?
boxes in the last movie because that would have kind of helped.
You saw one. Remember
in the
scene
fucking
when you
future
bitched
past
about
dream
it?
of death.
No. When you bitched about it, when we went through everybody's little quick time video, we saw Dr.
Oh,
Stone
yeah,
putting
yeah,
it into
yeah.
his that was his son, Victor,
Yeah,
who
yeah,
you
yeah.
meet again here.
You do.
Still no real description of why that happened to him.
It's a car
You know what I
accident.
mean? Well,
do you
then,
mean?
He blew up.
but I mean, back to your point
Oh,
of
with the mother box and shit.
Yeah, they hooked up the mother box to him.
digress. I'm sorry. I was driving somewhere, but we're off the rails now.
Sorry.
It's fine. So yeah. Hey, guess what? This is the thing. We need to assemble the team. It's time to assemble the team. They got all their little images and like, let's assemble a fucking team. And so we're gonna just see what's Wonder Woman been up to. So we go over, hey, Wonder Woman, and we're all of a sudden in like whatever, somewhere. Is it British? We're in London. We're in France. I forget. We're
Are we in British
still?
Are we? Yeah, that's what I can't
think
remember. That makes
Yeah.
sense. And so we're walking through, and there's this guy, and he walks in, and he's like, "Oh, it's a nice museum or whatever." It's like, "Fuck this! This is a nice museum no more. It's me, the terrorist guy with a little hat." And then everybody's like,
It
"Oh
was a little
no,
hat.
fucking
Must
little
be
hat
there.
guy."
Is he someone?
Not to my knowledge.
I'm sure.
But again,
he's
I like that
someone.
actor.
I watched this movie once and tried to forget it, and then last night I had to drink my way through it.
They brought back. They made the theme cooler though. They did what Andy wanted. They said, "Andy, we've heard your criticisms. We're not gonna do this silly fucking guitar riff played on a goddamn shitty $300 amp inside of a Guitar Center."
It wasn't a guitar, Andy.
What do you mean?
It's an electric cello.
Dude, the original one is an electric cello.
Yeah,
that sounds
don't you
bad.
feel
Either
You
way,
uncultured
they made it sound
idiot.
cool. They finally like did
They
the
Danny
string
Elfman
A
arrangement.
little
Yeah,
too angry.
And it was super dope.
it sounds like way cooler.
Anyways, yeah. So
I love the cello,
Little
too.
bowler man's got his little bomb there, and he's gonna blow everybody up. He's like, blow everybody's. Oh no, that's not right. Wonder Woman shows up. She's like, I'm gonna stop these morons. She lassos and shoots the first guy, and he's like, and what's the plan? She's like, woo, we're gonna blow up 4 square blocks. Everybody sucks. We're terrorists. And she's like, oh, fuck you. Hell, no, you aren't. And so she comes down and she just starts whipping on people's fucking
cool
asses
action,
and shit.
you know what I mean?
She's blocking bullets. They start.
She blocks all of them.
Yeah, she grabs.
That shit was cool. That was
She
cool.
grabs the
Super
thing,
fucking
the
cool.
bomb. She jumps through the roof, and you're like, all right, again, this woman I'm supposed to worry about getting shot. No big deal. Jumps through the roof. Can she fly? No, it's just a big jump. Okay, she throws the
Just
bomb.
a big jump.
That blows up. She comes back down, and Bowler guy's like, I don't like you people because I don't like people. And I was gonna make it quick, but now you're gonna die slowly by bullets. I was like,
I don't mind her jumping in front of all the bodies and doing the stuff, but earlier on when she realizes the bomb has been activated,
The bomb
we
is in
have
play?
we have a time limit that we
Yeah.
have to worry about. This movie has too much of fast person doing fast things. Where like reserve that more of that stuff for Flash. Like
Sure.
we're seeing it's overdone where she's doing it, she's zipping to different places and like it's just like why does everybody have to be so fast?
I liked when she got hit in the back of the head with the gun. She's like,
Yeah.
turns around, just
Yeah.
fucks that guy up.
Yeah, I mean, I like this action scene, but I feel like it's totally throwaway because who the fuck are these people? Why
They're
are they in
terrorists.
this?
We just want to see where she's at.
What is this weird? What is their motivation? Who cares? Let's move to the next.
It's
scene.
like
You know
Pixar
what I mean?
always
Oh, the
says.
action was
Pixar
cool.
always starts off a movie showing their protagonists doing what they do best.
Well, it's
and
no,
this is what they're doing.
Don't get
It's
me
a
wrong.
great
It's
movie.
not. It's not. That's not like it's not a tried and true thing. It's just I couldn't give a fuck about less of a fuck about these terrorist characters because they're just totally not set up at all.
It wasn't about that.
Yeah,
That's
it
fine.
was
I
about
get
her
it. Let's
being
have Wonder
badass,
Woman do a
yeah.
cool
Wonder
thing and
Woman
play
in
her
the real
song.
world,
Yeah.
right? What she's been up to.
Yeah.
She's been up to doing Wonder Woman-y things. And so she saves all the people, and everybody's like, wow, this fucking Wonder Woman's cool.
And the shrapnel killed everybody down below.
Totally. And so, yeah, that's done. That's taken care of, thanks God. And so now we're going to go up to Iceland, right? And, yeah, Bruce Wayne's there, and he's got a big old beard now.
I got goggles.
And he's got goggles.
Snow goggles.
And he's walking. He walks to the giant edge, and he looks down, and he's like, that's the town. And so he walks down there eventually, and he gets in.
Is he on a horse at some point?
Nah,
Did I make that up?
You made that up.
I just kept thinking to myself. I was like, why did he have to hike into this town? He's a billionaire.
Helicopter.
Can't you just take a helicopter to this
Yeah.
fucking thing?
Yeah, towns don't like they usually scare him.
He's
You
trying to
come
do it
down
on the down
helicopter.
low, you know.
Oh, he's
Except for
good
when
doing it
he
on
keeps
the down
talking
low.
about being Batman.
These people have never seen a helicopter in their lives.
Yeah, they're still drawing
They throw
fucking
fish
cave
at it.
drawings
They
on
throw
their
fish
on their
at it.
bar
It'd be
wall.
terrifying.
What is this flying bird?
You know what's sad about this?
Kansas.
What's sad about this is we
Fuck
get
yeah, Cap. Good one.
we get an interesting scene. I'm not gonna say it's a really cool scene. We get an interesting scene later in this where Aquaman decides he has to join the team because he saves a fisherman out in the middle of the sea and then sees green goo and goes, "Uh-oh, it must be the parademons that sank this guy's boat." I don't know what the fuck
I guess.
why they would sinking random fisher boats in the middle of the fucking Atlantic is beyond me.
I think
Were
he
they trying
beamed
to get
in.
into
I think it was
Atlantis?
that. Yeah, I think they beamed. That was their boom tube coming into Atlantis and then going out of Atlantis.
How convenient is that fucking boom tube? That
You're
that
kidding
thing
me.
just like wherever they need
Totally.
to, wherever it needs to be. Oh man, he just took the goddamn key.
It's so convenient
It's
that
so-
when
But
isn't that
Steppenwolf
how they work?
when Steppenwolf comes to get the third box, it happens off screen.
It just
Boom
happened.
tube over there. Oh, he got it.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, damn.
Hey, so this next scene where he goes to find Aquaman, right?
Yeah, he's in the now we're in the fisherman's
Yeah,
bar.
we talked about this earlier. He fucking interacts
Brandy
with
works there.
Aquaman right
A fun
away.
girl.
Oh.
No.
I wasn't it dumb that like immediately after he's just like Adrian Curry and like talks about all this information that he knows about him and it's like, well fucking if you knew that was him, why are you walking in there? Just go straight to him.
He knew Aquaman was there,
Arthur.
and we only had about
Arthur Curry,
30
yeah, no,
seconds of footage. We
I was
only had
like,
30
Adrian
seconds
Curry,
of footage of
I think
this.
it's a cop
Of his
there.
face.
And so he wasn't sure. Is that him not? And also, you come in, you want Aquaman just to do the right thing. Get a
this-
read on the
But
situation.
this is what I'm saying. Like, so
He's coming in offering money.
When Adrian Curry and Albert talk together, it's my favorite.
That's a series I watch. No, but what I'm saying is just like how much more
That was
amazing would the
close.
scene
Come
be
on.
if we actually saw Aquaman like out in the ocean saving someone, right? Brings the guy in who's totally wet, and then we get that scene where he goes
totally wet.
Well, you know, because he pulls the guy into the bar.
Yeah, it's
This to
dripping.
me is a great scene where he walks in and goes, "Give me a whiskey." It's on him. And I thought that was, I'm like, that's so cool. Imagine if that scene had happened, then he turned around and Bruce Wayne was just sitting in the bar and he was like, "I got to talk to you."
There's a
That would've
chance
been so
that
cool.
was the original intro. Because
No, because he's got the green shit on his fucking hand. He's like, "Oh, it's this green stuff."
Well, I think that's. I mean, I'm connecting,
Maybe.
but I think that's his thing of that's weird, and then Batman shows up talking about, hey, there's parademons and aliens and shit coming through. We gotta worry about this.
Yeah, I just think it would have been cooler to actually have Batman be like a little bit like secret Asian-y in this, and maybe be like, "Hey, we're putting together this ultra cool team where everyone's got identities the same." I'm maybe I won't walk into a bar and make it clear that I'm Batman to every single person here, because granted, I know that this town is cut off from society,
Sure.
but they still have like cell phones and shit. You have to imagine, right?
They got
Like they
booze.
know
Where's that booze
there's
come from?
they've seen Batman saving the world in the middle of
stocked up
fucking
before,
Metropolis. Like they're gonna know this guy's this guy.
Dude, you know, I hate comparing the DC movies to the MCU so much because it's just like, who gives a
What's
fuck
the
at this
point
point?
at this point, yeah.
But there's just something about MCU movies do such a great job of explaining the comic bullshit,
Yeah.
of introducing a thing, a name of a person or whatever, and it's like, you believe it, you understand. But there's just something about DC where it's like, they do such a bad job explaining boom tubes and mother boxes and all like all this fucking wacky ass shit. We got Steppenwolf as the bad guy. It's just weird, right?
1,000% Tim. You as a DC fanboy number one, at no point would I argue that you are incorrect on that. It's ridiculous how much they expect you to be me.
Totally.
To come in and be like, oh, boom tubes. Oh, the coming of Darkseid. This will be fun.
And it's something you don't need to know. Like,
They should've just been-
contextually,
they
you
should've
get
just
what's
done something, yeah.
happening.
No, but it's not true because right, that's a perfect thing to say, right? Because it's almost as if they would have introduced all of the Infinity Stones and the Gauntlet and all that shit in like one movie.
Yeah.
You'd be like, what are these things going on? Where did they come from? Where we're jumping from to nowhere to this other place to this. Imagine if all that happened in one movie. That's
Yeah.
kind of what they were expecting
You get
you to
30
kind of
seconds per
understand.
scene
Yeah,
for each of
exactly.
those.
As a
Whereas
lifelong
we spent
comic
22
fan,
movies setting that stuff
when
up.
I was, in my tens or whatever, when I was like super into comics and collecting and all that shit leading into high school and stuff, I remember when movies would start getting announced in the Wizard and fall away. And I remember dreaming of a Justice League movie and being like, but it'll never happen because it's too complicated. How would you explain a Martian Manhunter and this and that and all that stuff? And then
I still can't explain this.
I remember walking in and sitting down for Endgame, and I was like, man, they're about to do time travel. I just watched Into the Spider-Verse right on the big screen, and mainstream audiences have been given enough breadcrumbs that when you get there, of like, cool, Captain America and his friends are going back in time. Cool, there's multiple Spider-Mans and everybody's like, we get this, we understand this, and then this movie being the complete
isn't
opposite.
I mean, dude,
far-fetched,
like
yeah.
even taking it
Like,
really down to the smallest thing, Mjolnir, right? Like
Yeah.
that's a weird fucking thing, but the general audience got it because they explained its powers, and then over movies built on it, so that when he gets Stormbreaker, you give a fuck.
Yeah,
that
you do.
means something.
Oh, I made a
you
big
know?
deal like when Mjolnir broke, right?
Yeah.
Like when
Totally,
that-
totally, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like these movies definitely could have had that, and like I kind of need that education. It's like watching this stuff. Like I'll never forget watching Batman v Superman for the first time, seeing this mother box, hearing the words mother box, being like, "What the fuck is a mother box?" You know?
Sounds cool. That's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Mjolnir is a perfect example, right? That's something that's set up in the first Thor movie.
Mew
It's
mew.
thematically important to his character progression, and you give a shit about it because at the end, the whole point of the movie is that he needs to prove himself worthy enough to wield this thing, and it really is just about being like good enough to be the hero that everyone thinks he can be. That's great. That's an amazing thing. That sticks with you. What the fuck is a boom tube? What's a mother box? Why are these so important? What's Darkseid? What's the planet he's on again? I can't even remember the fucking name. Apocalypse.
It's a cool name.
We're gonna and why do they need to turn every planet into an apocalypse-like planet? What is the motivation behind these characters?
More land.
Sure, but like I get that like Doomsday is or not Doomsday, excuse me, is Darkseid, right? Is his name? Is like the conqueror, right? He wants to go and
He's
he wants to
Thanos.
conquer. He's Thanos.
Yeah.
But Thanos wasn't a conqueror. Thanos was trying to actually do something
Oh, sure.
almost
No, yeah,
altruistic, right? Where he's like, I'm trying to solve the universe's problem, and I'm the only person that has the stones to do it. Darkseid is just this. There you go. Is this just sort of generic ass character that's set up in this? And he could have been so cool because in the animated series, he's actually a really fucking like fucked up, deep, messed up character. He's got that, and then what's the other society with the gods that are like that?
The
They
new
traded
gods,
sons.
right?
Oh, it's cool shit. I'm like, why wouldn't you just? Did anyone not watch the fucking 90s cartoon? I don't understand.
They apparently didn't. So
And we're an hour in. Fuck.
I know. Yeah, well,
can't cross
this
my
movie
arms, but I
fucking
cross my
goes.
arms
This
a lot.
movie goes. That's the one thing I'll say about it. So Aquaman, yeah, we have the whole thing we just talked about there. He reveals himself. There's a fucking cave drawing of him on the wall bringing loaves and fishes.
It's complete with tattoos and his dope haircut. Now, to be fair, in this, I like Jason Momoa. I did not think I was gonna like Jason Momoa when I first saw this. I thought Aquaman was gonna be
enjoyed it.
stupid. That my man in the trailer, I was like, God,
All
face
right.
palm. But I'll be honest with you, just spending some time with him,
I dig it.
I was like, I like this guy. He seems
Yeah,
like he's
yeah.
having a fun time making
Yeah,
this movie.
totally.
The scene later on with Lasso of Truth. I know it's later, but like
I
that
love
just made
it.
me
Yeah,
that
I
made me
think
laugh.
it's
I was
funny
like,
scene.
that's clever
Yeah.
and creative, and that's endearing. You
They
know?
changed the way the lasso works, but like, who cares?
Yeah, he was just
Well,
sitting
apparently,
on
Because
it.
when you hoop
earlier
it up
it
your
used to get
butthole, it
hot.
makes you tell it. You know.
Well, as if
Yeah.
you fought it, right? But you'd assume maybe he would fight it.
I mean, it's just one of those things that like I felt like it just got hot last.
Wasn't that just because
earlier.
he's a human?
What?
Steve Trevor.
That's true.
No, I don't think so.
Well, he was fighting. He was
Same
also
with the
fighting
with
it,
the
though.
people that she pulled up.
Also human, but I thought it was
yeah,
if he
yeah.
tried to fight it. So I think Aquaman starts into a conversation, knowing he's going to talk and try to tell him why he's doing
It
this.
doesn't
but
matter. It doesn't matter.
It
We're not going to see Lasso again. we are.
No, yeah, definitely.
They're gonna
84.
cancel it
84.
before-
Right, it's gonna be great. That's looking good. Hopefully, I've been tricked.
You sure have.
So yeah, Aquaman's like, "Fuck you, Bruce Wayne and Batman. I ain't doing it. I'm going bye." And he jumps in the water and swims away. And he's like, "Oh man, fuck." That's
It's cool when he
fun."
swims away fast.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
But but they try to make that line kind of be cool where Aquaman is talking to Batman and he's like, I don't have to or whatever the fuck. It doesn't matter if I'm wrong. It doesn't matter. I'm right or whatever the fuck. And then he does it back to him. It's like, oh, it's supposed to be a cool thing, but
Oh, I like.
didn't really
It's the
Are you
same
talking
way.
about the line where he's like,
Well, strong man stands alone.
He's like,
"No,
no, it's the opposite of that.
See, but like when movies try to do that sort of humor, like that's not the line. Like that's not the line at all. And he's like, doesn't matter. I'm still right or whatever. It just doesn't feel like it fits in here for whatever reason.
That's
like,
the problem. You didn't have the problem when he goes like this, and then jumps into the ocean, like does a backflip into the ocean. You're like,
to the
"What?"
camera one more time.
I was like, that's the best you can do. He goes like this, and then like, it's so bad. Although okay, can you give it to me, Andy?
Were they born in lives? Now it's time to rank those abs.
Jesus, what a panty dropper that guy is.
Good
His
God.
fucking torso in this movie is unbelievable.
gorgeous, yeah.
He looks so good with his fucking shirt off. And to your point earlier, I don't think Ben Affleck really trained that much for this because he doesn't have a shirtless scene in this. But thank God Jason Momoa is in this motherfucker because between him, the Amazons, and Stephen Wolf's fucking weird CG face, we're getting a lot of awesome looking abs in this movie.
True.
We can move on now.
Thank you. So now let's go jump to the island of Themyscira, where Amazons are like all fucking freaking out, right? Because they got
Vibrating.
this little igloo over there, and you go over there. It's made of rocks, though. It's not snowy.
You know, so sorry to
maybe
immediately
it's a toque.
interrupt you here, but like this was a moment to give them some type of credit. That again, now that we're watching these movies with the context of all the superhero movies we've had, with the context of we got to Endgame, I do think it's cool that I did kind of get a fun moment of like, oh, we're back. We're back here. I know this place, and it reminds me of Wakanda in Infinity War, where it's like, wow, when you build a world over a bunch of movies like that, it's cool to see these things happen. And I think that's a testament to Wonder Woman was an enjoyable movie. You know, so it's like when you see her stuff, you're like, oh, I kind of like this. Whereas like when you see Gotham City, you're like, God damn it, this is Batman v Superman bullshit.
Also, there's like a weird level of creativity they have with this scene that they had to because of like how the Amazonians fight and the weapons they use that I just thought was cool. I think this scene's a standout scene.
The fight scene that happens immediately after this, I think is really cool. And it's like seeing them on horses, like why they haven't upgraded to guns still confuses me. But like the horses and them jumping around, them shooting the box with the string on it, like that was,
and it all being
that
for
was
not.
Cool.
I love it. Like they're doing the hot potato, and then he just
anyway.
fucking slams and then like breaks the horse.
Question for Greg. Wonder Woman, the mascara stuff.
Ooh, okay.
So they're all here.
Go ahead.
It's a pretty basic question.
Okay.
They're here. They're warriors. They train all the time to be warriors, right?
Yeah.
Who are they fighting ever?
I mean,
I think it's to defend.
Yeah, the world of man, right?
Demons.
But they're not fighting
They're
anyone.
just constantly training.
Yeah, totally.
Never actually fighting people.
Oh, no, I mean,
this is like
here.
the first time they're like, ah, fuck.
No, I mean-
now's our time, guys. Go.
I mean,
And like
somebody's bringing the
5,000.
fight to them, which is a big deal. That's a big deal, usually
So are they going out and fighting though?
I mean, in our modern society, no, because I mean, there hasn't been that kind of thing, right? The world wars are not worried about. They're out
they're
there
always
for like
prepping.
the gods are going to do some shit.
I think that once
right?
the gods died, they probably were like, all right, I guess we're off the hook. But
They
we're gonna
kept
keep
training though,
just
right?
in case,
And
just in
especially,
case.
I mean, roll your eyes. But with the backstory this one gives us of like, the other mother boxes, right? So the Atlanteans, them, the man, right? We are getting a very Lord of the Rings type universe they're trying to build, right? Where everybody's kind of in wait for whatever they have to do or whatever. So anyways, though, they're all gathered around the box. The box is vibrating. They got all their bows and arrows drawn on it. Eventually it cracks. Oh my goodness, what's happening? Boom, tube down. It's Steppenwolf. And he's like, it's me, Steppenwolf. And we're all like, what? And they're like, oh my God, it's Steppenwolf.
Also, is it me or does they did this so well in Infinity War and anytime Thanos was on screen, but it better, I should say, not well, but better. Where making his voice sound like it was in the scene. I think they did a better job there. But in this, it sounds like it's VO the entire time, where he's just like everywhere, and then a character will talk in the scene. You're like, this dude's not. This is like they did minimal effort to make it feel like Steppenwolf was actually a real life character in the middle of all these Amazonians.
Who's tall though?
He was tall.
No, that line made
There's
me
a joke
laugh.
for you too.
So
The fight is on. Queen Polygon, she runs out and she's like, close the doors, and they slam their fucking rocks into these other rocks, and the big rocks come
Two
down.
Amazonians give their lives for no reason.
Hey, man,
it was
trap 'em.
really cool, but then it's like, they could just bust out of the
Oh, he's
side.
got a
It's not
fire
in the
axe.
middle.
He got that
Is
axe,
this in the
dude.
middle of a mountain or something? He just
Igloo.
cut. No, I know what I'm saying. Like it should have been in a mountain, so he can't cut his way out.
Sort of like
Yeah.
NORAD, where it's like built into the side.
Yeah, so
of
he's,
it.
he's immediately out and he's giving chase, and they've got the box, and we're on horses, and we're tossing it around, and we're doing stuff. Like we're saying, they shoot a bow and arrow into it, and they use that, they throw it forward with that, and everything's and then he just fucking catches up and
yeah, it
squashes
doesn't
them.
matter.
Right.
It's all for naught. But that was really cool. The level of like coordination and like it just looked visually appealing. But then again, who gives a shit? He can jump fucking 90 miles.
But I like that it ends with he's got the box, and then there's just this fucking army of warriors coming. But at the same time, I didn't know there were that many Amazonians.
Yeah.
This
Jeff Bezos is going crazy out here.
This rule about like Wonder Woman can't ever come back. Why?
Stupid rules.
She left.
Tradition. You know what I mean? Why can't married guys be priests? Why can't women be priests? Stupid rules. Anyways.
Stupid rules.
So they're like, shucks, he's gone. And like, all right, we got to light the ceremonial fires. Like, fuck, the warning fires? We haven't lit this shit in like 5,000 years. And she's like, I'm the fucking Queen Polygon. Fucking shoot it off. And they're like, all right. Boo! And they shoot a little flame. They wait for it to get dark. Because they have to. You know what I mean? But
sounds
like,
like
boo! And they shoot the flame and arrow, and it goes all the way to ancient Greece, and it hits inside of this thing and makes a whirlwind of fire.
Which is
I thought that was cool. I was
such
like,
a stupid, funny comic book thing of I'm gonna shoot this arrow, and then like the way that they shot it, it's like this thing's going real far, guys.
It goes at least 100 miles. And nails the
Dumb.
Parthenon.
It's gonna take 3 hours to get there.
They're like, well, yeah, you guys want to get coffee, or we got some time before this thing lights
let's
up.
jump back then to Wee Perry, huh? And as Wonder Woman, eh? And she's over there. She's over there, and this is one of your joke scenes. You know what I mean? Where she's doing the thing like, "What'd you get into this weekend, Diana?" "Oh, nothing interesting." Like, we know a woman who looks just like you with a headband fucking threw a bomb into the air and then fucking stopped a bunch of bullets and did a bunch of crap.
You are literally the world's best looking human being. Does nobody fucking know you're Wonder Woman?
And then they just do the thing that is like honestly, guys. Hey, Hollywood, everyone out there,
Hollywood, listen
please,
up.
attention. Stop having characters learn about something by the news on TV.
Yeah.
It's like that's been done. It's
Would
been
you
done
prefer
well.
her have
It's been
Twitter
done
open and be
horribly.
like, "Oh shit"?
It's just such a dumb thing of like the character at that moment. There's a TV loud enough that you can hear it, and are like, "Oh man, this is exposition." Dude, get the fuck out of here, man.
They're in a museum, right? They are historical people. You could have easily, what happened this weekend? Oh, just watch the doors open up. Guys, the Parthenon is on fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All of Greece is on fire right now. Wow.
Some crazy arrow came in from across the ocean. Burned the
How is there that much fire on this arrow?
And I know that sounds like
Nothing's
a
on fire,
minuscule
it's
thing to
flame.
nitpick,
I'm with
but
you,
it's
I'm
just
with
like it just is a symptom of bad writing. It's just a symptom
It's
of
lazy.
we just got to get to the next thing, and it's just like what's the easiest way to give information so this character knows it.
Yeah.
Anyways, though, she gets it. Oh my goodness, the fire, that's bad. You know what I mean? And she's like, this shit's off the cheesy for Weezus.
I remember she said
I remember that line. Yeah,
It was an odd line to write, but it worked.
Yeah.
Well, that was in the Snyder
Guys, I
Cut.
really feel like this for cheesy for realsy.
I didn't have my subtitles on, so I wasn't sure they said that.
Definitely
But
what
I
she said.
thought.
Definitely what she said.
I like that she's working on. By the way, I do like to touch that she's working on like a ancient Greece statue, right? What's it a statue of?
I don't know.
Something
I don't know.
like look
Athena?
Greek.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah.
Maybe it's like
Speaking
her,
of
who the hell knows?
subtitles,
It's all
I don't-
Greek to me.
I don't know what I was watching
cheesy,
recently,
my
but
cheesy.
I finally realized that in Black Sabbath's song "Crazy Train" that he yells
Oh, yeah.
"all aboard" in the beginning.
Oh,
I didn't know he's all aboard. I thought he just yelled like "all aboard."
And then it does the train noise, right?
Yeah, it's weird.
Cool, man.
Subtitles are helpful.
They're
man.
great.
So she's like, "Fuck, the fire is lit. We are in.
It's lit, bro.
It lit for cheese in my wheezy."
Put that on a shirt.
You gotta design it. Back in Gotham City, right? It's Bruce and Alfred still talking about penguins, having a great time. Oh man, we gotta do this shit or whatever. And then like Bruce is working on a giant fucking carrier for some reason, a troop carrier, right? And then Diana walks in. And he's like, "Yeah, yes, I spent millions of dollars on." He's got this weird Bruce voice. "Dollars on this." And then he just came in. She's like, "I thought it looked expensive." And like, "Ha, ha, ha." And he's like, "Listen, I was getting the fucking carrier here ready to go, but like." Yeah, like it's coming. She's like, it's not coming. It's here. They lit the fire. Oh no! And he's like, the fire that burned down Greece. He's like, yeah, I thought we were blaming a cop for that. Chicago joke for everybody.
But please tell me for the next 15 minutes. Tell me about Steppenwolf. Tell me the
Tim, just
backstory
do
of
me a
this bad
favor.
character.
Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Go to the cosmic treadmill right now. Fill my water, and then run back in time and tell me these
Okay,
movies never
I'll
get
do that.
better. All right? Because they don't. Yeah, so he's like, "Oh, what's going on?" She's like, "You have all these notes
So
about
slow.
the box." Well, he's got to save it to get going on the
Yeah,
treadmill.
okay,
The treadmill
yeah.
gets fast.
You think he'll take that message well?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I'm a very level-headed person. I'll definitely believe it. Don't worry about it. So yeah, here's the history of time. You know what I mean? And she's like, yeah, these are these fucking boxes, and they get together to make the Unity, which gives you all sorts of fucking power and shit.
Right.
They are power. So
It's a terraformer, just like Man of Steel, right?
Right. So the idea
The
behind
world
this is that
engine.
Engine, yeah.
Which they said earlier.
the idea behind it is that
change
Darkseid.
engine. Don't they call it change engine?
Darkseid is going to conquer worlds. He wants to change them into environments like Apocalypse.
Yep.
And he had a fight with all the men, all the Atlanteans.
Now
all
you
the
say Darkseid
Amazonians.
again. It's for Darkseid, but it's Steppenwolf down
It's
there. doing it.
Steppenwolf.
They are doing as little as possible with Darkseid.
And this is and that's fine. They're trying to set up Darkseid. So we have to figure how long ago did this happen, right?
Thousands of years.
Thousands
right?
of years
I think
ago.
they say 5,000, right?
Yeah,
for the
5,000.
warning fire. I assume that was it.
Right.
Yeah.
5,000 years ago, this happened.
Yeah.
And then Steppenwolf decided to wait 5,000 years and then came back and was like, oh, they got a Kryptonian now? I'll wait till he's dead.
No,
and then the
so-
Kryptonian dies and he goes, now's the time. Now's the time we're going to come back and take over Earth.
Because
The
they're all
box
downtrodden.
recognized- Yeah, the box recognized that the world is scared. because the aliens attacked, and now the only hero that stopped everything is also dead.
Was the world not scared during the 2 world wars that we had?
Not
Not
Sorry about
asking, not because you know
we
everything's
weren't
separate.
broken. You know what I mean?
Right.
A side
Messages-
one
Was the
a
world-
side one, and that side
Nobody
was like,
knew.
yeah.
Was the world not scared when there was a Great Depression that thrust one of the greatest
That's
countries
America.
on the planet
You gotta remember the
into
world's-
fucking almost like utter
so
depravity?
myopic right now, dude.
The world back then too big. Messages they didn't know.
Everyone
about
was just super
South
happy for
America,
5,000 years.
South
They're like,
America
never gonna
didn't
come back.
know about the Great Recession until it was over.
Oh, what a dumb.
They got a
idea.
letter. They're like, oh shit, there's some problems
Oh, we
happening.
could have helped.
Yeah.
Fuck, we didn't know.
We got
didn't
money.
know. Anyways, yeah. So we see the fight here of the Atlanteans, the Mans, and then the Amazons out there fighting. We get a Green Lantern. They're like it was intergalactic. All
That's
sorts
cool.
of people getting-
That's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Andy,
Yeah.
during the part when they bury the box in the forest, and man buries the box, did you get a little Lord of the Rings vibe in that?
I mean,
all
I'll so much of
You
this.
get a little Lord of the Rings
One
wood?
box
Thank
goes
you.
to the Amazon.
Yeah.
That one box
One
goes
ring,
to the
one ring,
Amazon.
one
You get to see
Yeah.
the Lantern ring fly away too when he's killed. That was cool.
That is
Yeah.
unearned.
I think it was
Welcome to
totally
every
cool.
moment.
Was
Every
one of the-
moment that's
was-
cool in this movie
Was
is
one of the
unearned.
guys one of them Shazam man? Shazam guys?
No.
They were gods, so you
Yeah,
figure.
it was Zeus probably throwing
Yeah.
lightning.
Because the dude who did like the Hadouken or whatever.
That
Who
was
was
Zeus.
that?
Who was that?
That was Zeus.
It was Zeus.
Zeus?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Hercules is there for sure.
Wow,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
came
yeah.
out of the
real
But-
gods.
came out of retirement.
The reason I don't like the inclusion of the Green Lantern stuff, yes, as like a fanfare thing on like a little Easter egg, that's fine. But like the fact of the matter is, it's like, okay, well, if they were there back then, are they not patrolling the sector still?
No,
Have for
Do you know how
5,000
big?
years?
Do you know how big Sector 2814 is? All right, it's back to what we're talking about. Oh, there's a world war.
Big enough-
What's Green Lantern gonna make a big shoe and drop it on him? No, he's got shit going on over there. He goes over there. He's got these fucking worm people.
But
Let me tell you, they're up to no
is
good.
this? Are we doing like a Captain Marvel thing where it's like, well, I had other shit to do, man?
Yeah,
Like,
pretty much.
Okay,
100%.
cool.
Space is big.
There was other
I'm
shit
with
to
you,
do.
baby. I'm with you. I'm not arguing. Come on, everybody.
What is this?
Before we continue, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about our sponsors. I want to tell you about the Besties podcast. You know, we all love video games, and one of Andy's favorite video game podcasts is the Besties.
Yeah, Tim.
You want to tell me about it a little bit?
Sure. McElroy brothers, Griffin and Justin, team up with Russ Frustick and Chris Plant, all Polygon, kind of former and current Polygon. And they've been doing this podcast since 2012-ish. I started listening in 2013. The podcast went away, but thanks to Spotify, they brought it back.
Spotify
And it's
original, man.
One of my favorite podcasts.
It's
yeah.
free. You can listen to it. You can go to Spotify. You can check it out. You can also listen to a whole bunch of other podcasts, including our podcast
Yeah.
on all the Spotify services. But you should definitely give the Besties a shot. Andy, what's your favorite Besties episode of the year?
Of the year, ooh. I mean, they did a lot of good, they did Game of the Year stuff in January. The most recent one I listened to was really good. They sort of went through the history of Super Mario 3 and all their experiences with it and how it changed and sort of like just the history of the game and when it came out in America like years later or whatever. It's a really good listen. Funny.
Crazy stuff. You can listen to the Besties free only on Spotify. Go check it out on Spotify. Just search for The Besties. And also, shout out to Honey. Online shopping is supposed to be easy. So why is it so hard to find coupon codes that actually work? Thanks to Honey, it doesn't need to be. I've been using Honey for years. Kevin's been using Honey
I
for years.
love that.
Kind of Funny's been using Honey for years, and we have saved thousands of dollars by not doing much. You just install this application, this extension.
Extension to your Chrome.
And next thing you know, every time you're checking out from pretty much any store online, a little thing will pop up. Honey will try to find coupon codes for you.
It's so exciting.
Help you try to
press a
save
little
some
button
money.
and it's like, hey, we have 5 codes. You
We
want
get
to
the
try?
cute little
And it's
dancing
like,
guy,
yeah!
you know, and it's great. But seriously, it's nuts how many websites and how many times this has helped me, from big websites like BestBuy.com all the way down to like really niche, obscure things. There's coupon codes for everything, man, and they always find you
They're
the
adding
best
stores
deals.
all the time too.
Yeah. So imagine you're shopping on one of your favorite sites like Target, Best Buy, Sephora, Macy's, eBay, Etsy, Walmart. Look at those. So much wide variety. When you check out, this little box drops down. All you have to do is click apply coupons. You wait a few seconds, and then the price drops. It's that easy. You don't really lose anything. You're just saving money.
I recently bought a bunch of stuff from Pottery Barn. Saved 20%, Tim Tam.
There you go. There you go. Let's see. We saved 20% off your pottery. What'd you get at Pottery Barn?
I got a bunch of sheets. They're Harry Potter themed because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy another round of these.
I appreciate
I
it.
didn't do it the first time,
Yeah.
so I could have saved money. It's a bummer.
Did you know that Honey supports over 30,000 stores online?
I did.
It's a big number, man. They're adding more every day. Users love Honey. That's why over 100,000 plus 5-star reviews on the Google Chrome store. If you're not using Honey, you're literally passing up free money. It's free to use, and it's also just 2 clicks. You can get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/morning. That's joinhoney.com/morning. Back to the show.
Where are we at?
What you laughing at, Gray Miller?
The subreddit, as always, with the screen grabs. Great stuff out there, everybody. You're killing it. Sorry. So, yeah, we explained Steppenwolf Fist. He's here for the boxes. We need to find the boxes. And Batman's like, well, if we assemble the team, we'll find the boxes. Everything will be great, right? He's already got...
I just want friends.
he's already got the one there. All right, cool. And they walk around the lake. They've been walking around the lake. And while this... so, yeah, by the way, all that had been happening. All that happened at Bat Lake. Before then, we'd already talked about this in the very beginning, so it's always that thing where we didn't put it in the right spot. But, yeah, Cyborg, we had gotten introduced to him. He likes sweatsuits. And he was at his dad's house. His dad works at Star Labs, which is now taken over the Kryptonian ship in Metropolis. And he came home, and there's his sweat suit loving son, and he's at the window really sad, and he's like, did you tell him about me? And like, no, they don't know about you, because I kind of did a bunch of stuff that's not ethical and did all this different stuff, and he
Kept the son alive.
don't want to know about the monster. You're not a monster. Funny you're thinking about me.
That was
You're
a great,
fucking.
That was a good line. That was a good
First
line.
off, I'm not a monster. I kept you fucking alive. All right, and I broke a few rules to do it. So yeah, no, I'm not walking
Inconsiderate little
around
piece of
the
shit.
place where fucking Lex Luthor brought a fucking monster back from the dead with a dead guy. No, I'm not telling people that. I'm not telling people. I did the same thing. All right,
Frankenstein's monster. There we go. This guy looks distractingly like Gia's dad, the dad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like
true.
the mannerisms, are, right?
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
like,
it's really weird.
all right.
I didn't think about that.
Wait,
was weird.
the guy that's Victor's dad?
Yeah.
The guy from Terminator 2?
Yeah.
Miles Dyson.
Yeah, but like with how he's dressed and everything, I'm just like, oh my god,
That's cool.
It looks identical to him.
Is-
when it shows the
Gia
picture,
Cyborg?
I don't know.
Cool.
She does have robot
Robot
legs.
legs. Holy shit, she's real fast.
Okay.
Real fast.
Anyways, so yeah, we got all that we talked about, and then while beyond that had happened, Cyborg had been just sitting there, and he had gotten a transmission. He had been looking. There's too much information, right? He's got an alien voice in his head. He had been just looking into himself, and sure enough, he heard Alfred say Victor Stone deceased, and then he was like, "What?" And he did this with his hands, and he did it again, and he got to look through all of Batman's files and cameras and do this and
That's
do
pretty
that.
cool, man.
And he was like, "Oh man, convenient that this happened." I'm running a Google search on my name all the time. And so back to the Bat Lake. Wonder Woman and Batman finished talking, and who's there in his sweatsuit? It's Cyborg, and he's like, boing.
Real quick though, was it Batman who planted that information?
No.
No.
No, I
Cyborg
think he
just
just
heard
hacked
it.
into his.
Yeah,
he hacked
Cyborg.
into the
Cyborg
Batcave.
is getting all the information.
I don't know why
technical.
I thought a cooler angle would have been, we need to get this guy out of hiding. Let me plant where I'm going to be so you can overhear this conversation. That's
No.
really
See, in
important.
the
Too
one
much
line
Batman.
where Victor
That would've
said
been smart.
there's too much. It's too much. I have access to all the information. It's too much. That you were supposed to infer. Oh, he sees everything.
Gotcha.
Every text message, every dick pic you've ever sent, he gets it too.
Not only that, but he sees all of the Batcave cams,
Exactly. He's reverse engineering them and looking through
which is
and shit.
amazing because I'm like he named them Batcave Cam 1,
Yeah.
Batcave Cam 2.
You don't think Ben Affleck did that?
I mean, maybe,
I'm 100%
I feel like
sure Ben Affleck
I
did
feel
it.
like Albert did
Ben
it.
Affleck.
Right?
That sounds like an Albert
And
movie.
so,
Albert
anyways,
fucking
they're
did.
like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go. I'm Batman. I'm gonna go after the fast kid. You go after Cyborg. And everybody's like, cool. Good. They shake hands.
Good
Let's
plan.
do a break.
Good plan.
And so, pew, we go back to Central City. Over there, this is another thing we don't really need, but we'll toss in just for the Easter egg. Over there, Barry Allen had already been going to visit his dad a lot because his dad was in jail for the death of his mom. Same
He
flash
drew
story,
on
you
that.
know, or whatever.
He drew
Drew
on
on the
that.
dude's face. The guy checking him in. You got this in your Fast and Furious?
He called.
Fast.
Jimmy Olsen from the Superman movies.
Really?
That's awesome.
Checking them in, and
Yeah.
he drew on his face. Then he talked to his dad. And you gotta let me go, son. I can't let you go. I'm gonna get you out. I got lightning. bolt."
Again,
You gotta
like,
stand in one place.
an
thematic.
example of where like you could have just cut the joke short, right? Like it's silly to see you see his hand quickly move, and then it's like, oh, that's funny, you know, that's a funny thing that Flash would do that, and then we have to see the follow up line of him walk up. You need those for
Those prescription?
prescription, or you just fucking whatever he says, and the other guy's like, huh? Like it's
I
so
actually
stupid.
kind of felt bad for the other who was like, what?
You shouldn't have been a dick.
really
dumb.
You shouldn't have been a dick. And so, anyways, that's how Batman got, because Jimmy Olsen hit the button to let Batman know that this was happening and all this stuff. So Batman,
But not Jimmy Olsen in this world. Jimmy Olsen's
could
dead.
be, could be,
No.
could be Jimmy Olsen's dad, James Olsen. Could be like Smallville, where Jimmy Olsen.
Remember Jimmy Olsen getting killed in the
Smallville?
Batman vs Superman? He got shot right in the beginning.
Yeah, but I'm talking about this could be similar to Smallville, where there was Jimmy Olsen and he died via Doomsday, and we were like, oh my god, they killed Jimmy Olsen. And then at the end
Wrong
of
Jimmy
the
Olsen.
episode, Chloe's like, hey, James, your brother Jimmy was a good guy. And he takes on the
Fuck
name Jimmy.
you.
Isn't
And he
James
comes back.
and Jimmy
James
the same?
and Jimmy are the same. They know.
It's the same name.
That is a real plot point from Smallville. That's how they get the Ashmore brother that was Jimmy to be Jimmy in the end.
John, they killed you, but Jonathan, you're alive.
Exactly.
It's John with an H, John without an H.
So yeah, Barry's been living in. He's squatting in this other place, and he opens up his thing, and he's got all these monitors and TVs and shit. And Rick and Morty's playing in the background.
Shout out
'cause
to
he's
Billy
cool,
Crudup,
just like
by the way,
us.
playing the dad. Billy Crudup played Captain Dr. Manhattan in Watchmen.
Oh, yeah,
Which is
yeah.
cool. Little Zack Snyder.
Real quick, the whole like give up on me thing. It's like,
Why?
Why now?
but it's also like, like you're saying you didn't kill my mom, and I believe you.
Yeah,
Like,
but you have to imagine he's been in jail for a while, and he sees
It's not
his
gonna
son-
happen.
He sees his son degrading. He's
Yeah.
like, just move on.
He's
on.
always wearing this red flannel,
I
looking
see
like
you.
a clown with
Yeah,
a bad haircut
you don't
from
have any
Kansas.
friends. You don't have a job. You don't have a life because of this. Move on. I like that. I was like, this is cool. We should see more of this in a Flash movie.
And so
before this movie.
the lights turn on, and there it is, Bruce Wayne sitting in the chair. And this is if you remember back in the day when they invited press to the set for the first time. This is the scene they had them watch, so they could be like, "See, we're making it fun. There's gonna be fun jokes in this one. It won't just be dark." And Flash's like, "Why are you in my chair? My second favorite chair?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm putting together whatever. And I think
I
you have
thought this was
powers."
fun.
I do too. I like
enjoyed
it.
it.
I enjoyed
liked
the scene.
him throwing the batarang.
I
him
like the whole thing of-
like, oh shit, it's Batman. You're
I
Batman.
like him looking at the suit and being like, "Oh, the same technology they use on NASA for re-entry." Right?
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, that's cool shit. Okay, cool." And then throws a battering and catches it. You're Batman. Yeah, I'm putting together a very special team. I'm in. I don't have any friends.
Stop
or
right
whatever.
there. I'm in. Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. Stupid that like that was the moment when Batman's like, "Oh, you're really fast." It's like, what? You didn't figure that out? You didn't figure that out from the videos?
To Andy's point earlier, though, where he's like,
He's
stop right
wrong and
there.
gets a
I'm
battering in
in.
the head.
I don't have a lot of friends.
That's what the joke should
End
be.
of the fucking scene.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about brunch. We don't need to talk about how you don't understand how society works and how you're socially awkward and don't fit in with everything. I don't have a lot of friends. We get it.
Hey, don't even say that.
Move on.
Just say I'm in. That was funny.
Yeah.
I'm in, and afterwards it's
friends.
like, why?
I don't
Yeah.
know. But then they go to the coolest fucking Mercedes Benz ever made.
Jen was like, "Did they make this for the movie?"
No.
I'm like, "I don't think so."
I was like, I thought it was
Why did they
concept cars. I'm
focus
sorry.
on him? Like,
I think Mercedes probably paid a lot
Yeah,
of money.
yeah, exactly, 100%.
yeah, it was just a weird thing.
Paddle
like,
shifting,
Here's
just-
his finger paddle shift.
Yeah, because you can paddle shift in that car.
Yeah, that's
Rich
right.
dudes love to be able to paddle shift.
I'll tell you what, I bought an Xbox Elite 2 controller. Paddles real cool, man.
He's eating pizza because he burns through calories so fast,
Yeah.
and then he gets in and he's like, "Oh, what's your superpower again?" I'm rich. A line I still like, but I know a
love
lot of
that
people
line.
hate.
That's great.
Yeah, I like it.
Back in the Batcave, Wonder Woman's just been sitting there. They're being like, "All right, cool. Hey, Alfred, let's look at stuff. Let's look at more stuff." And he's like, "Yay!" And she's like, "Man, it sucks that I didn't get to talk to this guy when he would have been right behind me." And then, sure enough, everything gets taken over, and it's Victor Stone harnessing his abilities that he's learning how to harness. And he just talks, and he's like talking through her like fucking Ghost Rider. And he's like, "Hey, what do you want from me? Leave me alone or whatever." And she's like, "I can't. We need to talk." And he's like, "We're talking now." And she's like, "I mean face to face." And he's like, "How do I know you won't stab me or lasso me?" And she's like, "If I would have wanted that, I would have got you at the lake." And he's like, "Fuck, you're cool. All right, I got you."
Cool, you saw me.
Exactly.
Why didn't you just say hi then?
Yeah, exactly. Seems like we could have saved some time since we have a matter of days until Steppenwolf.
things gonna kill us all.
Anyways, now we're gonna go into Gotham City some more, and Wonder Woman's walking around, all the power starts going on, and then guess who shows up? That's right, everybody, your favorite sweatsuit wearing Cyborg, and he's like, "Hey, it's me, Cyborg," and she's like, "Hey, man,
This whole
some
scene
shit's
looks
happening.
terrible.
This is very awkward and not good overall."
This is the street scene, right?
Oh yeah.
This
Oh,
just
yeah.
looks bad, dude.
Yeah, it did.
Why like, fucking film in a street? Like,
Yeah.
and,
It was
like,
definitely the
it
Paramount
looked
back, the
CG,
Warner
right?
Brothers
It was-
back lot.
This was like green screened, right?
I'm
looked
90% sure
awful.
the majority of this movie was.
Just like the coloring and everything looked so bad and fake. It looked like a lot of it reminded me of like the Schumacher Batmans, where it's clear that they're like on a set trying to, but it's just like, well, just
Yeah, but the
film
problem
in
is
fucking
the
place
Schumacher Batmans were purposefully going for that
Yeah,
look.
yeah.
They wanted it to look almost like the TV show back in the day. on
Wonder
purpose.
Woman's outfit in this scene, though, fantastic. I looked at him like, if I was a woman,
that
that's
where she had the
exactly
red
how I would
cape?
dress.
No, that's later. That's
no,
after.
that was
That's
later.
after the
like
fight.
that.
It was like a red bomber
Yeah.
jacket with just like light or like dark red like leather pants, fucking like real deep fucking V.
Hot.
And they talk for a while, and Victor's like, "I'm not helping anybody." Boop, and he flies away. And Wonder Woman's like, fucking cyborgs."
I had
Look
one
at him,
job.
look at him.
I had one job.
So yeah, she falls back, and then they all meet up, and they're like, "All right, let's do the thing." And while this has been happening, all these people from Star Labs have been getting kidnapped, right? Because they're trying to track down the other mother box, or the humans.
We
mother
get
box,
the
right?
janitor gets kidnapped.
Exactly. He gets kidnapped. All these people are getting kidnapped. People are getting kidnapped.
Cyborg's dad gets kidnapped, I think.
Yeah.
Because
Well, I was gonna go from here. I was giving you the backstory of the kidnappings, then I was gonna jump to Aquaman.
Okay, sounds
right?
good, man.
Okay. So yeah, again, it's been like
We're along for the ride.
it's whatever, man. Like, you know, Aquaman was like, fuck it. And that's when he was like, oh, cool, I'm Aquaman. And like, right. And so
That was a good moment.
they boom tube into the fucking Atlantis, right? And you're like, where the fuck are we? And it's like, oh no, yeah.
And man, when
And
we
then-
see this Atlanta scene, how excited are you for an entire movie where they talk underwater?
and like,
Not at all.
he-
like Aquaman's gonna suck.
so that all happened. Let's just shove it all together. I don't understand where this.
Shove it
So
all
they already
together,
happened.
bro.
We'd already had the blood or whatever we had. Aquaman's like, I need to go to Atlantis. He goes to Atlantis.
Very quick.
Now here's where it's like really, and I'm rusty. Is Aquaman next?
Yeah.
Keep in mind everything that happens here, and then let's compare to how that actually plays out in Aquaman. Because don't they kind of retcon everything that happens here?
Yeah, it's a weird conversation where in this one she's like,
Oh,
"I'd
it's
never met
you
him
and your
before."
mother. Yeah, and your mother
Yeah.
raised me, and I've never seen you, and you've never.
And this is
you're-
the first
you haven't-
time you've come back to Atlantis like ever. This is a big deal.
Right, yeah.
And in the other one, in the Aquaman movie, he gets trained. I mean, that's future
He like does
spoilers,
it
so-
know?
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry. I'm just saying, keep all this in your
Yeah,
head,
he
right?
hangs
Just keep
out
it
with
all.
one dude for a
Keep
long
all
time.
your head. Keep it in your head.
It's right here, Greg.
Keep in your herd.
So,
Your Amber Heard.
and so yeah, they're like, cool. And then he says he needs some stuff, and she gives him the stuff, or is it that Steppenwolf happens and the fight happens, and they still get the mother box?
The fight happens.
Okay, so either way,
So
they
he
get.
comes in right after the fight's done, right?
I thought
Steppenwolf-
it's still happening.
It's happening.
Yeah, because he does an underwater move where he actually is a competent fighter and like grabs him by the head and does some stuff.
Yeah.
It's thrown through the wall.
Yeah, but anyways, they get the mother box. They boom tube out of there. Amber Heard is like, "Hey, what the fuck, man? Yeah, I met your mom, and you're a jerk, and whatever." And he's like, "I don't know. None of this makes sense." And he's like, "Listen, I gotta go after that guy. So can I just get some armor and a trident?" And she's like, "Sure, but didn't you have a trident in the fucking quick file video everybody watches of you?" And he's like,
Yeah.
"Don't ask these
Yeah.
kind of questions.
Yeah.
Give me
You
the
were
suit."
looking at the camera and doing this weird thing for
Yeah.
about 4 minutes.
Yeah, just give me the suit and give me a trident. I need that. Great. Okay, cool.
And she was like, "Your mother would have stopped them before. Now it's your turn or whatever."
Yeah,
Right,
would've chased
right,
them.
right.
Yeah.
And so now we're back in Gotham. Yeah, Victor comes home. The place is all smashed up. Dad's not there. He's like, uh-oh, trouble afoot. At this time, the bat
Uh-oh.
symbol goes on, right? It's Jim Gordon putting the bat symbol up. Because over there in Gotham City PD.
James Gordon, his brothers.
over there, they were like, hey, you know what? This fucking sucks that, like, people keep getting kidnapped. It's clearly got to be Batman. And he's like, I've known Batman for 20 years. Batman's not just going over there and kidnapping people. He's like, what? I'll go
He
check.
changed last
I'll
time,
check
remember?
it. I'll check on it. He
started murdering people and
Throws the
branding
switch like we were talking about. And then Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash show up. And they're like, hey, what's going on? He's like, oh, these people are getting abducted from Star Labs. It's 6 or whatever. And then Victor comes. He's like, it's 7 now. I'm like, oh my god, you know what I mean? This is neat. There's a whole bunch of people here.
I do like Ezra's reaction to him. Like he's very animated and trying to give off like, there's a robot right here. What's going on? Like
Yeah.
nobody's telling me about any of this.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
really
yeah.
cute.
Is there another Jim Gordon scene, or is this the one where Aquaman shows up too? I thought Aquaman saves them underwater, and that was Aquaman's
that's
introduction.
the pipe.
I don't think
Yeah.
he hasn't
So
shown
I'm-
up till that
so
happens.
So we have another Jim Gordon scene. I
Yeah,
forgot.
yeah,
that
we
we're
do.
mushing together. All right.
there? Yep.
So, anyways, they're like, "This is what's happening. We got the Star Labs people. We got to do the thing." And they're like, "Oh shit! All right, cool. Well, how are we gonna do the thing?" And I forget how. They know. They look across. They're like, "There's been reported of whatever the fuck happened over there, that the tunnel or whatever. So let's go check
And
on the
then
tunnel."
Cyborg's like, yeah, on land there's no connection, but all the pipes connect here.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
they're like, oh,
wow, we got a
okay,
team
cool.
together.
Yeah.
Because that moment doesn't happen because Aquaman isn't with them on the.
That's what I just said.
Oh, okay.
So they go over there, they get underground. They're like, all right, cool, we got to stop all these fuckers. We got parademons down here and shit, and they've kidnapped all these people. And so they look in there like, oh man, we're gonna do battle, and we got a spider tank and eventually coming and shit.
cool.
And they're like, all right, cool.
No, it sucks.
it's cool.
And so
Nightcrawler?
yeah.
I thought it was
So
cool.
stupid.
They're like-
So stupid,
It's
man.
so
Like that.
stupid.
The entire thing is this whole scene is the perfect example of we need to set things up. This is poor writing just to have the people be able to use their powers. Oh, we needed things for Cyborg to do because what the fuck's Cyborg going to do otherwise?
Yeah.
Let's give him something he can take over. That's
Aside
the only
from-
reason that thing's there.
aside
Why
from-
are they under
He
the
makes a
water?
cannon,
Because
too,
Aquaman
yeah.
needs to come and save
Right.
them, right? Which felt kind of cool, but still bullshit.
It's a good thing that the staff moves water a little bit.
Before they go there to the site, though, we do get that moment that's trying to be funny, where everybody disappears.
That's rude.
Yeah, wow, they just disappear. That's rude. Like again, it's like
You saw them jump away.
If any other writers could figure out how to make that moment good, they would have. But it's just like it's another just failed attempt at this is trying to be cute and funny.
Yeah. No, as
Sad.
opposed to that moment we got the last time someone did that when Batman turns around and rises and Catwoman's gone. It's like, so that's what that feels like.
Yeah.
Which is an endearing kind of fun moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one didn't play that well.
So yeah, they're down there. They do battle, or then they're getting ready to do. And Flash is like, "Listen, I don't do any of this shit usually. I don't do battle. All right, I usually just run and push people."
And I like this.
I like that
fine.
line. Yeah, that's
Save
good
one.
delivery.
Yeah,
Save one.
You're like, okay, I
And then
kind of see what you're driving.
What am I
at.
gonna do?
You'll know.
You'll know.
Fuck, Batman. Some really bad advice.
I like it though,
don't
because
know?
it is like he saved one and he realized how easy
knew.
and like how good it felt, you know?
Yeah. So he does that. He saves that.
Like
That's
doing
happening. Victor Stone, when he saw his dad or whatever get picked up, he jumped down there, blasted him. Wonder Woman came down. Everybody's getting blasted. I walk in, I just start blasting. Everybody's blasting and shooting and shit. I think Batman's got his grappling hook.
Is
He's
this
shooting
where
shit.
is this where they're showing Cyborg can't control it because his dad pops up? That's
Yeah,
why
I
it
think-
starts
I thi-
blasting.
yeah, I
his
think
arm
so,
turns
right,
into a
yeah,
gun.
yeah,
Which
exactly.
is cool. I thought that was really cool.
And they're kicking the shit out of these guys for a while. Steppenwolf's fighting. Diana and him are fighting on a walkway at one point. Flash is saving people, like we were saying, right? Then it starts going sideways. Wonder Woman has to jump for a sword or whatever. Flash runs around, doinkers it back right to her or whatever. Then he
She
trips. He
slices
trips.
that
Yeah.
thing in half.
I think he gets shot here. Maybe does he get shot here?
No,
in the
he
leg?
trips
It's
immediately after.
like his foot gets like ripped up or something, right? Because he can't run anymore after the scene. That's why.
When does he get
Batman-
shot?
Something. Maybe the bullet goes through his leg or something. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he gets shot in the thigh here.
Yeah.
Oh, he's getting shot?
I thought so.
But
Something
he does get
penetrates.
shot at some point.
Yeah, because
I thought so because this is where they help him back to the spider
Yeah,
tank.
because
after.
the water's coming and he can't run out
Right,
or
exactly.
anything like that.
And so yeah, they do that, and Semmel's like, "Fuck, this is a lot of work, whatever. I'm out of here." Bye. And he's like, "Oh, but by the way, also Cyborg had the stink of mother box on him," and he's fucking gone. And then yeah, they somebody I forget what it was shot something and missed. Oh no, it was that they shot the spider tank thing at him. He grabbed it. He's like primitive and threw it in the wall, and that's where the water starts. I'm like, what's that water? Oh no.
DC question for you, Greg.
No, God.
So in the same way like last time we were talking about Wonder Woman, it's like, what are her powers? Like, how strong is she? Whatever. So Flash, super fast, very fast, very, very, very fast.
Yeah.
He's strong.
No.
Okay,
I mean,
so
he
just
doesn't have
lift
to be
people
strong.
up like nimbly bimbly. You know what I mean?
He's
Just
just
seems
momentum.
Like, yeah. Okay.
And
And
also
then,
is a fast healer, apparently.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
he's
true.
a
That's
fast
accurate.
Okay.
That's accurate.
Okay.
I'm sure maybe there's some increase to strength.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, he can carry people and
Because
run
he's
with
carrying
them.
Also,
people left
he's
and right.
using-
He's also just getting knocked through shit. It's like,
Yeah, no,
you're
that's a
just-
bigger
you're just
thing.
a
That's a
dude.
bigger thing. Yeah, when Superman hits him, right, knocks him down, I'm like, you're going a lot, really fast.
Yeah.
He used
Corey Cudney, let me know if I'm wrong.
I
though.
just expected in that scene with Superman, I'm like, one wrong move and your neck is broken because
Yeah.
you're like falling incorrectly, at super speed.
I feel like he also uses the speed force that makes it like so. It's not necessarily like he's fast because he could use the speed force and then walk through it, right? So like I feel like his leg being injured.
Speed Force. Glad they introduced that concept.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah,
feel like
no, I know what
his
you
leg
mean.
being
I
injured
called the
shouldn't have
Speed
slowed
Force.
him.
Great, cool. Thank you for introducing it. Yeah. So then the thing's ruptured. Steppenwolf bounces. Aquaman comes in and saves the day with his trident, give them enough time to get into the bat tank, spider tank. Yeah, they're carrying Flash because he got shot. They put him in there. They retreat and they got their asses whooped. You know what I
It's a
mean?
dumb looking fucking thing.
I liked
On
it.
the wall. Like, what is this, dude?
It's
dumb
like a bat.
Batman.
You ever seen a bat
It's
crawl
the
up a
least
wall?
cool Batman shit. It's just I hate when they're just like,
Is that the
we
least
got
cool
a
one?
gadget for this.
Is that the least cool
No,
one,
the
or is
Batwing
the
looks pretty bad.
fucking the
Carrier.
the shock trooper carrier he's about to do? Where literally the only bat thing is he put the bat symbol on the hood.
I mean, whatever.
Like, at that point, Batman, don't
that's
do
a
that.
Justice League carry ship. I'm fine with that.
Sure.
Okay. Why didn't he put the J on it? You know.
Good
Think
point.
about that.
I like that he had like another gadget that he brought into this for no reason. I like that Batman has a fucking tunnel crawling machine that he just has because he's Batman. That didn't bother me. I thought the design of it was pretty cool too.
So they.
But I like that he's like he has one line where he's like oh I didn't bring a sword. He just starts fucking Gatling gunning everything. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
They gather up there in the cave or whatever. They all got their asses whooped. They're all mad about it and like, oh man, yeah, he's gotten 2 of the boxes already. You know, we need a third. And Victor just is like, oh, hold on a second, poof, and he's gone. And then he comes back. He's like, I got the third. And so we have
Yep,
the third.
cool, great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
awesome.
This is how this movie is for the rest of the
Yep.
entire movie.
Yep.
We need to go there. All right, we're there. All right, we
Yeah.
need that thing. All right, I got the thing. We need Superman back from the dead. All right, he's back from the dead.
Well, too bad we don't have the third one. I got the third one.
Oh, neat. Yeah.
Thank you, Victor.
If only we had the third one.
They
They're
set
all-
that up earlier though. Remember when his dad was
Yeah,
like,
I know.
"Where's the box?" And he's like, "It's a secret that I'm keeping."
Yeah.
It's in my sweatpants.
It's my sweatsuit. I left it at the
am the
Foot Locker.
box.
You know what I mean? And so yeah, they're-
the foot.
he needs so many sweatsuits. You know what I
That's
mean?
fair.
To keep going back there.
fair.
And so yeah,
That's where Batman gets the idea to bring him back.
yeah,
right?
Batman's. So they're all bitching around about this and falling apart. Batman, when they get the box, is like, wait a second. There's enough. The box is power. It doesn't contain power, right? So like, we could use this inside the Kryptonian ship, inside the Kryptonian puddle, to reactivate Superman's body because that worked out well last time. And I'm just saying, his cells never degrade, so this totally makes sense, right, guys? And
Say
everybody's
don't
like,
show.
I like that they were like, we don't even know that he is dead. You know? pretty
It's
cool.
like, yeah, but
Maybe
I
he
bet
wasn't
that if he were to come back, maybe his soul wouldn't be there. It's like, what are you talking about right now? You were just
I did
literally
like-
saying the fucking
Sorry.
things that need to be said to make Superman come back and kind of be angry for a
And
second.
justify why he's mad.
To
for
our
a
point, though,
little
I did appreciate, and I mean, I'm not everything you just said 100% correct. What the fuck, terrible plot point. I did enjoy but we're sure he's coming back, not Pet Cemetery coming back. I was like, that's still
Funny,
fun.
huh?
Well, the one line of him, Pet Cemetery.
Yeah.
That, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
that's funny. Like, that's good. Do
Yeah.
more of that. And then it didn't happen.
But I also like the whole like when he goes away, he's talking to Alfred, and he's like, "We'll get the big guns ready," and it's like, "Oh, okay, what's big guns? What is?"
I
his
like
plan?"
that. I like
And
the
then the
payoff.
reveal of like, "Oh shit, that's a good call. That's a good call."
Yeah. I just wish I wish the whole resurrection stuff was happening like as Steppenwolf was like merging the boxes and all that stuff. I wish they could have figured out a way to actually have that tension be heightened by having there be those two planes of action where half the team is fighting Steppenwolf while the other half is trying to resurrect Kal-El. And then when he comes back, he is crazy and they have to fight him and Steppenwolf until Lois Lane comes and goes, Clark, like, and he remembers and then goes, oh shit, what am I doing? And then fucks up Steppenwolf in a movie.
Yeah,
But
there you go.
instead we get him in a field for a while, trying to remember your past. And
So
then
they
Lois
argued
goes,
for a while
I'm glad
about
you
this.
remembered
Was
your
he
past.
really in a field, though?
They
Is
argue
anyone
about
ever
this
really
for
in
a
a field?
while of is this a good plan or not. Well, Diana is horribly against it, and we got a whole bunch of Steve Trevor references we haven't brought up where they're just like beating that dead horse,
Yeah.
dead guy.
He's
that
such
dead
a
pilot.
dick about it.
Thank God he's really gone forever.
I should
And-
punch him though.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, I should boom. But to our point too, Batman is like, why aren't you the beacon of hope? You know what I mean? Why are we so hung up on him? Like you could have done it, but you haven't done it. You work in the shadows too, I guess. And yeah, she shoves him. And
I
they're all
liked that,
like-
though. I don't know why.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, no.
I enjoy that little back and forth between them being like, hey, how about you fucking do something, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But isn't there a response like, "Oh, 100 years ago something happened, and I've swore off like."
This time they
helping.
generalize it more,
Okay,
where she
yeah.
has been scorned. I did appreciate one little touch here, where when they're getting into it or whatever, you see just in the back, not as a real thing, but you see in the back the lightning shoot down because Flash was up here and he knows it's about to go down and he gets down and out of the way. I thought that was neat.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's like fine. You know what? We're just gonna do it though. So whatever. You know, we got to do this. I forget what, if anything.
We'll figure out
She
something
still
afterwards.
doesn't just isn't down, but like we have to, so we're gonna do it or whatever. So yeah, they go
We
to
sneak in.
they go to Kansas, right? Oh no, we're not there yet.
Metropolis, right?
When's the scene of Batman? Batman and Wonder Woman talking when she has the cape.
That's after the fight with Superman, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Because that's remember he gets fucked up. He gets fucked up.
Yeah.
She pops back.
So we go to Smallville. We dig up Clark's body.
Jesus,
right.
they literally did that.
Yeah, totally. Showed it all. Yeah, exactly. And they have a second of like, isn't this macabre? And they're like, yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's just-
and Cyborg, I would think even the actor just being like, yep, well, this is how it is. This is what I got to do. What we're doing.
Weird.
By the way, too, something I really like the Cyborg actor. Like I don't love.
True Detective Season 3.
Huh?
True Detective Season 3.
I didn't watch it.
It's phenomenal. Oh,
It's
really? You didn't see it?
sad because
After 2, I was like, I'm good.
Oh, no. Well,
Not
2
even
is like,
really
2 sucked. No, 3 is great.
Okay.
Mahershala Ali, fantastic.
Oh no, I did watch it. Holy
Yeah,
shit,
he's
you're
the
right. I
Cyborg.
did watch that. Yeah,
the-
fuck yeah.
he's really good in it.
Anyways, though, I like him. I like his line deliveries. I like him. I didn't love the CG for him, but whatever.
Did he give up on the Cyborg movie actually happening?
No, he still I think says that at cons
Really?
once in a while that it's happening.
Interesting.
But hey, man, Ezra Miller fucking willing this fucking Flash movie into existence. Maybe we'll see. Anyways, yeah, they dig up the body. Hey, there it is. We got the body. Great. And they're like, cool. Now we're taking the body back to Metropolis. Cool. We got to sneak this thing into there. Okay, cool. We're gonna do that. And so they put everybody in a truck and they drive the truck in. And as this is, I know we get hung up on this kind of shit on this show, but like pitch black. It's like. I'll say maybe I'll give you 2 a.m, right? There's no hint of the sun in the sky. This will be important later. All right, cool. They go there. Cyborg's hacking the airwaves, doing the doo-doo. He's doing my hacking, just putting all this shit out there,
Mr.
fucking
Roboting the world.
with the military
Talking to
computers. Yeah,
ATMs.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so they're like, all right, cool, come on in. And they go in there, they're great. And then they take Clark down in his blue suit, red tie, which I'm a fan of. And he's still got his Jonathan photo in there, which at one point falls down and hits and doesn't
Why wouldn't they
sink
have
in
taken
the
it
weird
off?
amniotic water fluid.
It's not real water.
Yeah. They put him in there, great. Cool, he's in there.
His body, dude. It like there's just something about it that like wow, they actually showed him dig him up. Wow, they actually showed his lifeless corpse being put into this
I
water.
didn't like
and
the
it looked
effect-
so shitty. It was just like, what the fuck
The
is
effect that they were doing where they like would blur, like kind of set the focus on a different plane, so he was just kind of out of focus. It bothered me so
it's
much.
bad.
Yeah.
I liked it. Respect the dead. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Throw him into a puddle and bring him back to
Do you think they had a scene where they were like, we should put him in his costume first? And it was just an awkward scene of them trying to get his dead body into the fucking into the blue shiny
legs
suit.
in it.
Get it in, get it in. We put it on backwards.
So they put him in there, and they all get up there, and Dinah's like, I still do not like this plan, but I'm here because I'm Wonder Woman. And they're like, thank you, Dinah. And then it's like, all right, cool. I like how Victor did the Kryptonian key with his hand, right? And he's like, bad news, guys. This thing doesn't have much power because of Luthor. You know, whatever. He made Doomsday, which is kind of what we're doing. But remember, he did that. And it took up all the power, so we need more power. And they're like, well, if we could fucking, juice up the mother box, that'd be great. And then they're like, well,
The mother box is power.
This entire fucking movie, right? If we need to do this thing, all right, we did the thing. Literally, like, all right, well, I conduct electricity. I'm Flash. I could probably do it, but I'll need to get enough room. All right, this is as far as it goes. I guess this is good. All right, we're gonna count it down. Don't tell you when to run or when to go or anything. I'm just gonna count it down. All right.
Yo, what the fuck? Weird ass cutting and editing with this of like 3, 2.
No,
That's not how you count down,
You have to be
guys.
You have to be together.
You're like, what? Why did they do
What
that?
zero are you dropping it on? Yours or mine?
They drop it before it like 0. They drop. It doesn't matter.
No,
They-
the problem was they were like, this seems really fucking boring. What can we do to like make this something else happen
Yeah.
in there?
Hey, we need to be
Because
saying
Flash
like,
has to run and,
Because I'll
and
tell you
charge
what,
something.
Because if they
Because Flash just can't run in place and create electrical charge. He's got to
Because if
run
they
from
got-
fucking 30 feet away.
if they got the timing wrong,
That's a great point.
if they got the timing wrong, fuck, let's just do it again.
do it again. Pick it back up. Gosh, we need to pick it
Yeah,
back up.
exactly. Guys, it didn't work. One
This
more time,
isn't a
one more time.
one-shot thing.
Yeah.
Just fucking do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like if the mother, no one realized until it gets wet that the mother box, that's what destroys mother boxes, is water. Oh, shit. Ambionic fluid?
So it falls. Flash runs. He tinks. Top hits again. Poof, lightning, water, and then Superman's eyes. Poof, they go and poof, he shoots the thing. Like, oh my fucking
And they
God.
look back at the pool, and just his shirt and jacket are in there.
Yeah, they're like, oh my
Nothing
God, he's back, guys. And so we come outside now. Now it's light. Now it is daytime.
But
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
you gotta imagine it all took a while, right? Turning all the
Okay,
machines.
sure.
Maybe we didn't see
Figure
the
out the
first
fun
15
ends.
times Flash didn't.
Fuck,
time
do it
right.
again, Barry.
One more time, Barry.
Snyder
You missed
cut.
it.
You see all 15.
I'd love it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They've got like a chalkboard, and it's like a montage. Working hard. Working hard for the money.
And it just shows Batman like,
Yeah, exactly. Aquaman, fuck, come on. So Superman shot up in the sky, then he landed out there, and he's over by the his smashed monument.
Real
or whatever.
convenient. Looks down. It's his head.
Yeah.
Also,
exactly.
nobody cleaned this monument up.
What's up with that?
Why is the head still fucking right next to the thing?
It's heavy.
But I mean, like, I don't remember that in Batman v Superman.
either.
Like, I remember they built the new monument. Like,
The-
They didn't build it. They just rode around the ground. Remember? Of like, oh wait, what do you mean? I'm
No,
sorry.
there
they
was
put stone things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah, but
in
there
the
was
in
also
the
the Superman.
Superman statue.
Remember?
Like this.
And then Doomsday comes and punches
Smashes
it.
the shit out of
Yeah,
it.
no.
'Cause he's like,
After that, like
Yeah.
when it
They
all
made a
ended.
grave for him that was like.
But that was just them.
Hill-like
That was
away or
them
whatever
taking
the fuck it
over
was.
an already existing Superman thing on the ground, where it was there, and they just rode around it. If you seek his monument, look around you.
But I'm
This
with
didn't
you.
clean it?
I'm like, why would
Yeah,
they not
no,
have cleaned this whole thing up?
I
This
think
is
someone
dumb.
looked in and was like, "This actually looks really cool this way. Let's leave it." And then a bunch of other
Yeah,
people were
that's
like,
weird.
"Sure."
I think they need to redo the names that died in Man of Steel Day anyway, so they have to like wait for that. Also, like it's again ambiguous. How much time's passed?
No, at least a few months, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I,
Lois-
I don't
long
know.
enough that Lois Lane is like, I haven't wrote anything.
In a long
You know,
time.
if that was a week, who gives a shit? Like, it must have been at least some time.
his body looked real good.
Oh no, it healed the hole in his chest too.
Yeah.
Dude, I will say this. I think Henry Cavill looked fucking great. in
He
this
looks
scene.
insane good. Yeah.
I think he was physically bigger in the other one, but he's way more cut in this one. I think it looks great.
So he's out there stomping around like, what's going on? Who am I? Oh, you know what I mean?
Cemetery.
And he turns around and the cops are there and they're like, oh, and then the Wonder Woman, Flash, Cyborg show up. And they're like, oh, you know what I mean? and everybody's like, oh, what's going on? And, Aquaman's
Fucking
there too,
Cyborg.
sorry. And yeah, and everybody's
Starts
like, I don't know
counting
about
down.
this shit or whatever.
He's
And, like,
scanning us.
Yeah, he's scanning us. And then his apocalyptic tech starts wigging out or whatever because it sees him as a threat. And it shoots and it's just totally wide. Superman just wraps his head around it. And then like now it's fucking on, you know what I mean? And so everybody starts fighting. Wonder Woman runs over. She's like, Kal-El. And she, they're fucking there.
So stupid.
Yeah.
And he fucking headbutts her into the ground.
Right.
And that was
Again,
Shit.
all of this is so cool.
No, but I
They
really enjoy Aquaman. We've got to stop him. Momoa just jumps at him like real no plan in mind. Just kind of like
Seems like him.
Hopefully I'm stronger, and then he just gets like punched
Well,
back immediately.
that's where we have all three of them jumping at once. We've got Aquaman Cyborg and
Wonder Woman.
and then Flash goes into the Speed Force
Yeah.
time, starts running around,
Coolest moment
and
of the
we
movie.
get that moment of fucking him turning around and just
Out
saying,
of
"It's
the-
like,
out of
no,
the corner
you're
of his
fucked."
eye.
It's
Yeah.
fucking
So
cool. And then
cool.
so many elements of this are cool, but then it's just like, why are you mad? Why are you a bad guy right now? I hate every
he got
bit
brought
of
back
writing
to
of
life.
this.
He lost a bit of his soul.
Of how they solve it. Like Lois, that's cool. Him immediately, the "Do you bleed? You will," like all that stuff. What the fuck?
He was mad.
I remember
I
this.
see. I love all that.
He, but like I just
holding
feel
him by
like
his
he
fucking
remembers
jaw.
random bits,
Batman
but
shows
not
up.
other bits, and it's just like you're mad at Batman specifically, but not
Right.
Wonder
You
Woman.
won't let me live. You won't let me die.
It's so fucking lame, man.
It's
100%.
not good.
100%.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
But then he headbutts Wonder Woman into the ground, and that part is dope.
Yeah.
So dope.
Yeah.
But again,
And
we
she
want-
gets up like, fuck.
we wanted to be worried about her and bullets. You know what I mean? It's like, what are we doing?
Superman
Cool
just
stuff.
Snapped her neck.
Yeah, so he's got Batman up there and crunching him on the jaw or whatever. You won't let me live, you won't let me die, do you bleed? Throw Wonder Woman. Or no, he already threw Batman into the car, right? He threw he threw him into the car. That was really
And
cool.
then he picks him up by
Then he
his
picked him
jaw.
up. Then Lois gets out of the car with Jeremy Irons and a driver, I think. You're like, wait, who's driving?
Yeah.
Sorry. And she runs over. She's like, Clark. And she hugs him, and he hugs her, and she's like, let's go. And they fly away. And then Justice League's just sitting there like, man, this fucking... Oh, then
I guess that was it. That is
Batman
funny.
gets the line of, oh, something's bleeding. And you're like, God damn it. God damn it, Batman. You were cool in the last one, arguably.
Batman gets significantly less cool from this moment on in this movie.
Yeah.
Like every single time he's in a scene, it's just like, why you look so goofy?
Yeah.
Like why you look like you're Superman's #1 fan?
Yeah.
It wasn't until afterwards he realized he meant hope. You know what I mean?
Martha.
Anyways, they're all sitting like, man, we just got our asses kicked, and then a boom tube across the parking lot. They got the final box.
Ah,
Fuck.
dang.
Oh, that's
Shit.
just icing on the cake.
So they're gone.
Well, geez, now what do we do? Like, that's what I expected one of them
cheesy,
to say.
my cheesy. You know what I mean?
Wheezy my cheesy.
Wheezy, my cheesy.
Cheesy my wheezy. Steppenwolf's gone now with the box. He has all three, and it's like, what's going to happen? I left out the most important plot point, everybody. I'm sorry. There's a family in Russia.
Russian family.
There's a
You're
family in
fucking right.
Russia that is in a...
No, it's Bazaristan or whatever. What they call this fucking
It
song.
doesn't matter.
Stan.
They call
Dude,
it something
matter.
horrible.
Not only is there a Russian family that they come back to 23 times in this movie, whenever they do, whatever the score's playing, they make it like a fun little Russian version. You hear the little Russian instrument.
Like a
what
Russian
the fuck?
dog.
Why would you
They
do
cut
this?
back to this family so much that I was like, I want this family to die.
They got more of an
I
arc
want
than everybody
them
else
to
in the movie,
die.
though.
It's so true.
The little
Terrible
girl pulling out the
girl
raid,
with
I
that
was
bug
like,
spray,
oh
man.
god, man, what
So
the
awful.
fuck?
The parademons, like, who smell fear in here, but don't eat them. They just keep them around
Do
for
they
shits
eat
and
people?
giggles.
Is that what they
What
do?
do they do when they get
Oh,
the...
yeah, they
yeah,
at
what's
least
the
kill
point?
them or
Yeah.
They
something.
ate Steppenwolf,
Take
bro.
the
They're
soul.
biting his neck. And
Yeah, they
shit.
remember when they're biting at Batman, too. Or that other guy.
Steppenwolf's
They
like,
ate
he's
Steppenwolf?
hungry. He'll eat you.
They were biting Steppenwolf.
He's
in the neck.
hungry.
I fell asleep. I missed the last.
So yeah, whatever. That family's over there doing their fucking thing because that's where Steppenwolf's setting up home base in this giant empty area. It looks like Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
so-
is weird because you're like, why would he do it there?
Well, it looks like Chernobyl. It's not Chernobyl.
But
But remember, it
isn't-
has to be completely off the grid.
Is that why?
Yeah, remember they say that. It's
Why?
got because that way nobody can find him.
Okay.
So that nobody can get in the way of his plans.
Got it.
Duh.
Makes sense.
And also so civilians don't die and fans don't complain.
Exactly.
But you would think that,
Another huge
like,
part.
yeah, I guess maybe
Another
send your
huge part of
parademons
this
to
is
like
one
kill
family.
everyone. And
There's
eat
multiple
each other.
families. Remember,
There's a whole building.
There's a
Right.
whole at one point I didn't notice it in the first one, but when they run to the car, there's a bunch of people running out there.
I never noticed
It's
that.
like, oh, okay.
I thought literally these four people
Yeah.
were living in the middle of fucking
Yeah.
Chernobyl.
Fucking
Eustace,
Escape, right.
Eustace
Devil May
and
Cry
Muriel
5.
from Courage the Cowardly Dog, like just kind of living out of nowhere. Yeah.
So yeah, now Justice League's like, oh man, we got fucked. We're gonna go back to the Batcave and chill out. And they go back to the Batcave, and they're like, oh man, we got fucked over here. And that's when Batman's all hurt and he doesn't want to talk to people. People want to talk to him, and
That's when he wears the
weird
inner
suit,
suit.
yeah, this is when he goes back to his room and he's trying.
He's starting to take it out off.
Yeah, and then Wonder Woman walks in and the cool dope red scarf that I keep talking about.
So
She's like, I'll fix it for you.
Where'd she get it from?
Pops it back in.
It's your cape. She's just fucking around front. Does she have a cape?
I think she has a cape. That's what I was like. I saw this. This was the first time. It was just odd because I was like, did
I
you?
said that immediately. It was like,
Yeah.
that doesn't feel right.
And not that this necessarily took me out, but I did wonder. I was like, where did she get that shawl? Does she have that with her in her suitcase? Like the entire time she's never had this thing, and then she was like, I'm gonna go talk to Bruce right now. I gotta dress
She
it
has
up
a
a
chill.
little bit.
She has a
It's
chill.
in the invisible jet.
There you go.
She has a chill, just like that time she was cold in on the front of the trenches, and he gave her the coat, and you're like, this woman can fucking, she's impervious to everything. Why would
Yeah,
she be
but
cold? Why would
cold
she be
still
cold?
bothers you.
Does it?
I'm
Yeah.
really
Bother
strong
me
when I
anyway.
get cold. I
Yeah.
get cold. You know, if I get chill, I gotta poop.
You know, I
You never
just
get
I just
cold.
thought right now, like all these places that Wonder Woman went, she probably took just commercial flights, right? Can you just imagine her waiting there and be like,
Turkish
"Oh my God."
Airlines, right? Sponsored it. Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah.
It was it Turkish Airlines?
I don't know.
Can you check?
Bear,
Shield
can I get a
before?
Google on who sponsored? I'm pretty sure it was Turkish because they had that thing up at SFO about Batman v Superman in the international terminal for like 4 years.
I just
after.
pictured her being pissed off about like having to go wait
Huh?
at the LAX line.
Batman v Superman. They had a sponsorship with an airline. It's the only airline I ever owned. Fuck this movie. Hold on. What do you got for me? Yeah, it is Turkish Airlines. Nailed it.
Good for you, Greg.
I never forget. I never forget an airline that has Batman and Superman in it.
There's a YouTube video called "All the Turkish Airlines Scenes in Batman v Superman."
People with Turkish Airlines are very proud of this.
Oh, Jesus God. So, yeah, this is happening. They're there. Is this when Aquaman sits on the golden lasso
Yeah.
and is like...
yeah, because I think they
pours
figure
his heart
out she straightens the thing.
She strains this thing. They drink way too much bourbon.
They drink a lot of bourbon.
They pour like fucking
I have to
the
imagine-
brim on these glasses.
I have to imagine they made out a little bit too.
I hope so,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
Just for one, they got good chemistry.
I
And
gotta
then
see
they
that
go-
Ben Affleck was just like, they're like, no, you're not supposed to drink all of it, Ben.
Ben's like fucking. Hey, it starts tomorrow.
Jesus.
You went to why?
12 step
We
into
all
zero.
got it. You know
Step
what I
zero,
mean?
step negative
into
one.
zero.
To get on the steps, you have to take a step off. Yeah, they had that thing there where they're like the plan. We're looking on the lookout for a power surge because eventually he's gonna do this and we'll be able to instantaneously get there. Because once he does it, it should be done, but it's gonna take time. Whatever. Meanwhile,
Yeah, seriously.
over in Smallville, they that's where they land. In Lois, like, oh,
Meanwhile, in Smallville,
you took me here, and he's like, it's home. And they walk around, and then she
are you? Clark Kent.
She goes inside, but he doesn't stay in there. He's like, I've already been in a wooden box too long. And it's just, what was it like being dead? My skin, it's
itchy. It was itchy.
It's from where his chest fixed itself.
Oh, yeah, like a scab.
Yeah.
So they're there in the cornfields, and they're just chopping it up.
It
as
was
the
only
kids
his
say.
chest too. Like it didn't go through his whole body. Like,
All his organs are still fucked up. He's rotting from the inside out. But yeah, he's back kind of or whatever. And then, you called mom. And yeah, I called mom. Why wouldn't I? And like, all right, hey, I'm back. And she's like, I got to let you go though. And he's like, Bruce, yeah. I guess I do owe him one. Like, yeah, but it's like, just don't die. Haha. Like, this doesn't seem like the conversation you'd have with somebody who just died. Yeah, I get self-sacrifice, you got to go back. But like, seems a little flippant for
Maybe
me.
we should
This
Maybe you should
Superman
also-
that they built up in Man of Steel and Batman v Superman comes back to life, and I don't give a fuck what explanation they give. He fought them. He fought the good guys. What the fuck? What happened there, Greg?
He was dizzy.
Like, what was the plot there?
He was dizzy.
What happened there is whatchamacallit shot him. He shot a fucking rocket at him.
He was just
no, but he was
confused.
pissed before that.
His brain was still getting
Well, yeah,
back to him.
I mean,
He was
like, if
confused
we want to
before that.
give it all the threads in the world, let's say that this is the movie interpretation of a Lazarus pit. And when you come out of
Yeah,
a
you
Lazarus
come
pit,
crazy.
you are
You're
going to come out
evil.
crazy.
Yeah.
I buy that. That was fine.
I can't.
The thing I don't buy is exactly what we were talking about before of, like, they kind of knew it was going to happen. Oh, I might come back with no soul. Oh, I might. He's definitely.
He's like one of the tigers with Siegfried and Roy. You know,
No,
like,
that's
what-
different. Don't talk
just-
shit about those tigers.
just scared. Just like
That's not what happened.
I'm nervous and I'm panicking. and I'm
Roy
just gonna
fell
attack
and they
whatever.
caught. That's not.
The
he
tiger
didn't
was
say-
trying to
he
save
fell
him.
and they was trying to save him.
The tiger was
Fucking
trying to
Tim
save
knows.
him.
I saw the clip.
We all saw the clip.
The tiger was trying to save
He
him.
just called you Tim.
aggressively.
Aggressively called you
It's
Tim.
just like these
Happens.
fucking poor tigers giving shit for so long.
All right, well, yeah, you got to go back. Yeah, I got to go back. All right, cool. I hope you have a spare suit somewhere. He's like, I probably do. Woo, and he flies away. Well, he hugs his mom, and then we cut away. And so then it's like, all right, guys, guess what? There's been a power surge in Uzbekistan or whatever, so we're going to go over there. Like, all right, cool. And again, the family over there, they're holding it down, right? And they're like, oh, man.
They're doing great.
Yeah, they're doing as best they can or whatever. And this is where finally the giant troop carrier comes into play and all this other shit and whatever.
Doesn't go
like,
that fast.
we can't go
Sabra's like, I
It
can
will
do
for
it.
me.
All right, cool.
How does that work?
Cool.
As
Why?
he goes, like, the plane's tearing itself apart as it, like, hurtles.
But why even introduce that?
Yeah.
We're like, is this going to be a major plot point right now? It will for me.
No,
Okay, we're
because
just there.
Cyborg's stupid, and
Yeah,
they're like,
it's
we
dumb.
need to give him something to do.
Why would they?
That's
do
why.
It? Yeah.
And so they get there, and it's like, all right, time for the plan. Remember the plan, everybody. You guys get inside, and you separate the boxes at all costs. Don't worry about me. I noticed on a whim that this was another thing that drove me fucking crazy. I noticed on a whim that the creature from the very beginning didn't like a very certain siren. So I had Alfred play every siren in the world for me to be like, that's the siren. So I've never tested this, but I haven't. I'm ready to go or whatever. So we're gonna
But
get
we
in
put
there
it
and
into the preamp of the fucking Batmobile.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
gonna play
So-
it around. But also, there's a giant shield that this guy's put up
Oh my God! Nick.
around this
Thank
whole
you so much.
city. But
Thank you so much, Nick.
Yeah.
That we are flying in on a whim, I know about the siren. I assume it'll work for everybody. Also, they've got a shield over it. I'm Batman. What I'm going to do is shoot it from 200 yards away and then fly through with
Why
it
not? Wait.
into the explosion. I'm going to shoot it. What if it was Independence Day? They shoot it and there's no change. Batman pancakes into the fucking
Yeah,
side
dead,
of the shield.
Dead.
But
We
he
don't
looks at it,
have
he's like,
time.
it's organic. It'll definitely be affected by weapons.
Yeah, what a terrible shield. What a terrible, terrible futuristic shield.
Yeah,
that this guy created.
exactly.
That's where he should have shot into it and looked at the shield and be like, primitive. that's it.
Or I'm just throwing this out there. Cyborg could have fucking taken the shield down. That should have been his whole point.
But
was,
it wasn't
You
a-
take the shield down, I'll go in.
It was
But
an
yeah.
organic shield.
But it's made
was
by
like
the
a
mother
tree.
box.
I also
Sure.
don't just
Yeah,
understand.
I
Like
mean, like-
Cyborg, like he's just very like his powers are just so kind of
Well, they're
like
constantly evolving.
Like I
remember?
just his suit he's just like a robot, and there are clear shapes and forms of what his forearm is and everything. But like anything just pops out of anywhere.
But so that's the thing.
it's almost
Mother
like
box.
he's liquid.
I'm pretty sure
Mother box.
that's exactly right. He's a bunch of like smaller machines that are moving around, or at least
Nano machines.
most of him.
See how the
Nano
mother box
machines.
moved, right? Like
Yeah.
how it
Yeah,
breathed.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
similar
see,
concept.
it changes, but it was that shape because that's what he like
I
thinks
just
his
can't look
body's
at you right
supposed
now.
to be.
I can't look at you right now.
So Batman jumps in there. The rest of the crew follows
can't see
chase
you.
or whatever. Batman's like, I got it. And he's just driving around with his fucking siren on or whatever. And all the parademons like, and they start chasing him. And that's when the Russians are like, this is our fucking chance. Let's go. Oh, there's thousands of other Russians out here. Great, guys. Let's all go. And so they all start running and driving in cars and stuff. And that's all well and good, but Batman's gonna die. Like he's getting swarmed by parademons. They're up there. They're lifting the little lid on his car and shit. And he's not having a good time. He has a
We
couple
do-
different lines in here.
At some point, I do think when he's like wrecking shit, we hear the
I think so too.
which
Yeah,
is
it's hard.
cool.
It's, yeah.
We do.
It's a little theme. I liked it.
We also heard Superman's theme.
We did.
The
Totally.
dark version.
All of it unearned. Yeah, and like the rest of the heroes with superpowers are watching this moron with a siren. And they're like, "This is a dumb plan. We should go save him." And they're like, "Yeah, we should." And so they go down there, and then they start saving him. And he's like, "This wasn't the plan." He's like, "Don't look at me, man. Wonder Woman said to do it." And it's like, "Wow,
And
She
she's
led.
smiling.
we are a
Yes.
team. We are a team, everybody."
She's going to be the leader of this team.
Look
for
at our
15
chemistry.
minutes.
Our chemistry's so good together.
So that's happening. Great or whatever. I think is it already at this point where they're like, Barry, there's some Russians over there. Go east. And he's like, all right, cool. And
It's
he's
a funny
like,
line though. I hope this is
Yeah,
east.
no, this is definitely east later on.
No, that's not there
That's when
yet.
they're
That's
fighting
when Superman
Steppenwolf.
comes in.
And then,
No,
yeah,
because remember, it's
They're
not.
civilians.
He's already gone, and they go, Barry's on it, and he's like, no, he's not. He's not. So Barry is dismissed from this action early, but I forget at what point. Doesn't matter.
it's just such stupid shit. Go
Yeah.
save the world.
Yeah.
Don't leave. Let one of your guys run to go save some.
Well,
fucking
again,
people.
this is this movie by committee. Well, everybody hates this movie because the superheroes are doing things that they don't think superheroes would do. Well, now they should do the superhero things. Well, it doesn't really play into the. Well, just fucking do it. Just have them go do it. Whatever. All right, great. So then at one point, Aquaman rides a parademon around and then down through a building like
My
a boogie
man.
board.
And it was awesome.
That was cool.
I
That was
fucking
cool.
love it, dude.
Yeah.
We get the my man. We get the oh yeah. It's just like fine.
We got a couple
fucking-
of Chi-Who's in there, which like Alyssa loves.
She-Who?
Yeah,
That, yeah.
There's like a very.
He's Jason Momoa having a great time.
Having a
filming
great
this.
guy.
And I
Yes,
feel like
God.
this movie drove him into alcoholism. Jason
drove
Momoa
him
was like,
out of it.
This is great. I'm having a great time. I'm gonna be a huge star from this.
Hey, Aquaman, one of the best grossing movies or highest
Sure.
grossing movies of the year.
Academy Award winning.
Of that year.
Didn't anyone know Academy
I
Award?
just like saying it.
So then we go back into fight Steppenwolf. Now we got to separate these mother boxes, all right? And they go in there, and Steppenwolf's there. He's like, I've already started assembling them. And Cyborg's like, fuck,
Wow, you're
If
taking a
I
long
just
time.
vibrate him the right way.
Yeah, I'll do this shit or
You
whatever.
fucked.
And he's like, okay, cool. And everybody starts fighting Steppenwolf, and Steppenwolf's fighting him.
beating the
And he's
shit out of him.
beating most of them pretty easily. Yeah, he's fucking them up.
Piece of shit. Comes up, cuts fucking Cyborg in half almost with his axe.
that was
Cyborg
cool. That was
doesn't
cool.
really feel it. It doesn't seem like it faces him
Yeah.
at
It's
all.
Fine, he can cut in half. It's fine.
And then he goes.
Then he takes it, lops off the leg.
Yeah, and then pulls him apart. And he just get the fuck out. Doesn't he like rip him in half or some shit like that?
Something like that.
And then he
yeah.
walks up and he goes, "You guys don't know the truth."
I know the truth. I'm also a big fan of justice.
And I'm like,
Here's where you can just suspend everything that's happened in the movie and just enjoy this for a
'Cause
second,
that
even though it's got the horrible fucking fake mustache.
fucking line is awesome. I thought it was great.
No, again, like
Oh,
It
I
is the only hype
them all
moment in
in
this
this.
whole thing where you hear his voice. He goes, "I know truth." I'm
Also a big
I'm
fan
also
of
a
justice.
big fan of justice. I'm like, yeah, okay, let's watch
and it's that
this
thing
shit.
of like
And he
again
fucks him up.
to Kevin's point from way back 2 hours ago. We were longer than the movie.
Yay.
That like, hey, like there's awesome moments in this. Like this is an awesome moment. Like checking all
I
my
thought all
hate for
this
this movie
sucked.
at my door. Just getting to see Superman be Superman for a second.
Yep.
The way like this is where
Just
the
clean
DCEU should have started. I've said it a million times.
It was his
so I don't
ice
think I guess.
powers.
Right?
That was so bad. Though.
Right? Yeah,
That
okay,
looks
cool.
terrible.
And then,
He's got that.
no, but it's I also believe in justice because Batman's like
Yeah.
It was great.
and then it cuts to Momoa go, all right.
Let's go, dude.
Who thought that was a good idea, man?
The
needed
Batman,
to do
that's
it.
my
The
favorite
editor.
Batman gif. Him so excited. About it. Yeah.
Like a first time a child is a Disney princess. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
And so Superman, just starts handing this guy's ass, just wailing on him, right? And meanwhile, Batman's over with Cyborg, putting him back together.
Yeah.
Just like putting him close together and like watching all the things work. You're like a kid, like his mom's
Like, I
hurt.
think
just,
this
like,
is how this goes back together. The legs on his arm, like fucking fucked up.
And so Superman's wailing on them over there. That's great. They're doing that thing. Eventually, I forget the fight with Steppenwolf. He gets knocked around to somebody else dying. It must be working on him, Aquaman or whatever. And that's when we get the civilians. Again, another cool Superman moment that we don't see him usually do or whatever.
why?
And he's like, no, Barry's got it. He's like, you guys are morons. There's more than this one family. Why would you think there's just one family? I'm going to go save those other people.
But the
Because the
idea,
movie showed us this.
but the
only one.
idea behind
Like,
No,
like,
this is very much a joke.
the idea behind having to go save civilians and stop the fight is so counterproductive. It's like if you just tear the mother boxes apart, they'll be safe. It will stop the thing from the big.
if you
things
stop the
from-
mother boxes, sorry to jump ahead, but literally things will turn to flowers.
They're weird alien flowers that you should not let your daughter touch.
Oh my
By the
Yeah,
way.
no.
Get away from that.
It kills her, turns her into a parademon, she starts eating the fucking mother. It's like, what the hell's happening? But yeah, let's let Barry go off and let's have Superman go off. Not Cyborg or not fucking Aquaman, who could probably help some people out too. Superman. We gotta let
There's
the
not
guy
enough
that's
water.
the only guy that can beat this other guy. Let's let him
Well,
go.
they've got him on the
This
ropes
one-
now.
Yeah,
They've
they
got
had
him
him on the ropes.
now,
He was
yeah.
like, I'm not doing shit anymore. You got it.
And so he saves the giant like housing complex of people. Barry saves the things, and then says Dostoevsky, which I can't say.
Dostoevsky.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And he runs back,
rude.
and then everyone runs
Little girls
back
like
there.
that's not a word.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm not even
a
Russian.
An
name.
author.
Yeah.
They're back together now, and like, cool. Steppenwolf fucking sucks. He's knocked down. He's hurt. He's hurt real bad. He's got the purple stuff coming out of his mouth.
He's like, no, I'm the destroyer
The
of worlds. And he's
trident
like,
or
do you
whatever.
smell that?
I don't think it's
Somebody
happened
farted.
yet. Yeah, so like he's getting punched around, then Superman and Cyborg are gonna separate it. So they separate it, and it's gonna hurt. Hurt because I like being alive. And it's gonna hurt, but you'll be alive. He separates them. They get blasted down.
Now,
Superman laughs for the first time in this franchise.
I know. It's so like so. I criticized Henry Cavill's performance in Batman v Superman for being a little too wooden. I love this moment. I like that he
take
just
it back.
has a wonderful human moment where he's happy and he's a part of the team. And this to me is the first time he actually becomes Superman in all of these movies, because he has a wonderful moment where he's like, "We're gonna do this." The guy's scared and he's like, "Don't worry, but I hope it doesn't like kill me because I like being alive." That's a cool, like
hated
fun
all
little
this so
line.
much.
I thought it was fine.
I liked
I
it
was
a
like,
lot.
oh, that I would have been great if like he was that happy the entire time,
Totally.
even no matter what got him down. He was
But he wasn't.
Superman.
Totally.
He wasn't.
And then-
so him
and-
doing this is like, well, this isn't you. This isn't Superman.
Yeah.
I know we all wanted
Superman
a different
Reborn.
Superman.
All pretty lame. I didn't really like a lot of it either. But then to make it even worse, it cuts to Gal Gadot and she's like, "Children, I work with children." It's like,
like-
none of this works.
But like
man.
he should sort of be like, they always call him the Boy Scout, but he should sort of be that sort of like positive no matter what, aw shucks kind of guy the entire time, kind of dorky, and he's kind of dorky in this. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I like it's endearing.
I mean, he should be Cap at his best, right, from the Marvel movies.
Yes.
Where like I can
Where we
see Cap
love
doing
him
that too,
because he
being
doesn't
like,
quite get
"It's
it."
gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. I like being alive. All right, cool. And then
Yeah.
having a one-liner throwaway, it's kind of like America's ass. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like all that
great
work.
line.
But anyways,
That
they
is
separate the
America's ass
boxes.
movie.
Congratulations.
You guys want to watch that again?
Yeah, that'd be great. Downstairs, Steppenwolf's like, he's all, whoa, my axe is broken. And they're like, nah,
I
it's,
took my helmet off.
you smell that? Yeah, I smell it. It's fear. And then all Parademon was like,
he
let's
knocked
eat
the
him.
shit out of Flash though earlier. I think he beat the shit out of Flash. Threw him against a wall, broken spine.
Yeah.
Half of the season.
But he vibrated at the last second, so he didn't do that to him.
Oh, cool.
And
You're
so
right
all the
back in there.
parademons start carrying him away. He's like, I'm Steppenwolf. And the boom tubes out. And it's job well done, everybody. And guess what? Then all the things turn into alien plants.
Yeah, and
So
then
okay, this is another question I have, though, Greg. DC stuff. Boom tube. Why did it come this time? Is he activating it? Is
He must
you
have
trying to get out?
a little control.
And real
No,
quick,
that
is it
was-
actually called the Boom Tube or we call
It
it?
is
No,
100%
it's a
called
boom
Oh my
tube.
god, I thought we were just our nickname for it.
they
But real
had it-
talk.
They have
What's the deal with
Is
boom
that
tubes?
the mother box?
Yeah,
that they
those are
used
the
to
mother
do?
box in
Yeah.
the comics.
I think that's Darkseid calling him home. He's
Calling him
failed.
he fucked. He lost.
But you wouldn't know that, and I wouldn't
You
know
think
that.
Darkseid is watching this whole thing?
Yeah, definitely.
But wasn't he like exiled with
Like on his cell phone.
Because he wanted
What's
to
your,
come and
what's
he's
your
God.
explanation?
I don't know.
One of the parademons got smart, and he's like, I'm in control now. Everybody
I get
eat
the
him. I'm
boom
boom
tube. We're
tube.
going to Wendy's.
Yeah.
Spicy nuggets.
That's my take on the matter.
But then they go like this. Hey guys, we're done. What should we do?
Pose.
Let's go up to the highest part possible and pose as the sun comes up behind us. And Ben Affleck's just big old fucking fat shoulders stuffed into this costume. It looks so bad.
So mean.
And so yeah, that's then we get into Lois Lane's like, you know what? Cracks the knucks. She's like, I'm back, baby. I can
death?
only write about my boyfriend.
Yeah. What is death? What is life?
And she goes into this whole fucking
What's the first
thing.
word she says then?
Beans.
Because it
Rejoice.
no, because it put me. It's just I thought of a lyric. Like she says like a word that's like the first word of a lyric, and I'm sure chat might pop up.
Drowning in my skin.
It was something like that. It was something like that.
So and then we get a cut around now of all the heroes who have come out of the shadows because of this. And Diana saves some more fucking museum shit because she's just only helping museums out or something.
She's
Yeah.
got the lasso around.
Yeah,
her.
The defenders
They're
of
snitching.
and the
museums.
kids walk up and they want to talk
Which
to her. And she
doesn't
talks
seem
to him.
legal, by
She's
the
out.
way.
In the, she's out in the light now. That's
Well, I
cool.
mean, it's also Paris, though. Different
Back at
rules.
Wayne Manor, right?
They fuck
Yeah,
their
it's
sisters.
Bruce and
Big
Jeremy
yes.
Irons being like, oh yeah, we gotta put a big table there. It's 100 yards,
One
100,
big table.
100, 150 feet or whatever. You know? Put a big table there, 6
But-
chairs.
so we're
full
gonna
with
put-
room for more.
So we're gonna put a big table in the middle, like the most visible area of Wayne Manor, right?
Nobody goes up there anymore. You know?
Hey,
Do we
gave up
not?
the ghost.
You don't think anyone in Gotham would be like, is Superman flying back and forth to Wayne Manor? Does Bruce Wayne know Superman?
Bruce Wayne was hanging out with Aquaman, and Aquaman was just like Bruce,
Yeah.
Batman,
Batman.
interchangeably.
That's so
They don't
weird.
give.
You gotta imagine they're gonna give up their like normal lives.
Yeah, that's not how it makes it seem at the end of the movie. Barry Allen has his worst job in a crime lab, so he can work his way up there. And Dad, who told him to go away, is like, yeah, all right, you got a job. Awesome.
Well, now, yeah, you got a job in a crime lab, so now you can just obsess about your mother's murder for the rest of
Perfect,
your life.
awesome,
Good.
great.
Oh, you got 1 foot standing still.
What is
Okay.
Aquaman? Aquaman's just swimming around? Is that it? What-
Aquaman's having a fucking shrimp
Good
cocktail.
Lord,
He's out there doing shit.
Just swimming around.
Yeah, remember, this is I bought the bank line too of
Right.
just everybody walking around
Cool.
Clark Kent. no
I
glasses.
like this line though. He's like, I bought the bank,
Sure.
and he's like, why? And he goes, it's just kind of like
That's what it's a reflex
It's
or
like a
whatever,
reflex
yeah.
at this point. I just buy banks.
The first word was darkness. Thank you, Gary the Third in chat. So she said darkness, and I went imprisoning me. All that I
Nice,
say.
nice.
Threw it over.
That's great.
And so
Andy.
then
Good
we
pull,
get
Andy.
the final thing of Clark Kent walking down the street in Metropolis, noticing something amiss, takes off his glasses, puts them in his pocket, turns down the alleyway, opens it up to have the Superman symbol underneath it.
By the way, I like the suit in this. By the way, I like that it
100%.
doesn't have the gold on it. I think it was just the
So,
black and
I mean, as a
and- or
reminder
the
of
red
whatever,
and blue.
like once he, and I'm also a big fan of Justice, and all that starts going, again, checking all my hate for this movie because there's ample amounts of it. Like I remember tearing up in the theater watching this because it was again like, oh,
moments.
this is where I wanted you to start, and I remember also going, oh, this is where you're ending. Like you're not. This doesn't come out. You
Yeah.
don't fix this.
so sad.
At
And-
this point, he's still Superman, right? Like I know he had that weird post with the toy.
I mean, that's what he keeps saying, and it seems like everybody else is like, it's never gonna happen again. So don't worry about it.
We'll
I
see.
mean, they wouldn't put him in Shazam, right, or whatever.
Whoa,
Future
future
spoilers.
spoilers.
It'll be
What
him
the
and Robert
fuck?
Pattinson.
It'd be him and Robert Pattinson in Shazam too. And then we cut away from that and we start getting our end credits, or just oh yeah. So then we have the race between Superman and Flash. Again, cool moment that I don't think looks
Fun.
great when they pause on it, but like
Doesn't matter.
it's like again fun moment. And you're like, oh, I've never seen the Pacific.
Super fun.
And he's like, no, that way that was cute, whatever.
But
That
again,
one-
suit looks terrible in this.
yeah, because it's not meant to be that.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, they just cranked up the brightness and contrast,
Oh.
or not contrast.
And then they have
saturation.
the what's it, Dark Deathstroke?
Yeah, then then we have another mid-credit scene, right, where
Shouldn't
it
we
is
have a league of our own?
they go to Gina Davis gets on the boat.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
They go to
too.
Arkham, which is cool. We're in Arkham, and it's Lex Luthor in a straitjacket. We think until they go down there, and he turns around, and it's not Lex Luthor. Yeah. Would
Why?
have been cool to have him in like not the Joker, but like he'd been gassed or something, right? Like,
Yeah.
Would have been
if
cool
you're
to
gonna
have Mark
like,
Hamill.
or have it be
yeah.
fucking Zaz or something. I don't think him
Wait,
and Jesse
shit,
Eisenberg have the same outfit.
I missed this scene.
Close enough.
Who was the person laughing?
It was
just
random
Jesse
guy.
Eisenberg
bald
looked
man.
Random
like.
bald.
Oh, okay.
He's bald. And you see it from
And
behind.
we're like, what?
turns
And
around
so then we
it's
cut
like,
away.
Oh, it's not him.
Oh,
And
he's
there's
not
a
in
boat, the
Arkham anymore.
icon out in the water or whatever,
he's escaped.
international waters, you assume. And there's another boat coming in, and it's got Deathstroke in it.
Right.
Deathstroke gets out, goes up there. And Luthor's there. He's like, oh, hello, Deathstroke. And like,
Hello,
Deathstroke
Deathstroke.
takes off his helmet, and it's fucking Joe Maliglio or whatever the hell he's saying.
Joe Maliglio.
Mentagagaligo. But like, his beard looked so fake and
Oh
white.
no, the whole thing
Yeah, the
does
whole-
because he's like
yeah.
he doesn't look like this, but they're making him look like Slade Wilson. All right, whatever. We got again. I mean, you want to talk about like, man, we've done too much weird shit. Let's totally course correct and make him look just like the comics guy because Aquaman, looks just like fuck. Who cares? Make him look like Joe Manicotti. I don't care. Anyways, he's up there.
Joe
though.
Rigatoni.
And he's all like, yeah, we should start a league of our own. They have a league. We have a league. All right, cool.
To be continued.
Never again.
Never.
Well,
never.
guys, I mean, we said that at the end of we all saw Venom early, and we see fucking
Morpheus.
Carnage.
as
Woody
who's the
Harrelson.
actor?
Woody
Woody
Harrelson.
Harrelson. When Woody Harrelson pops up, and we're like, they're never gonna make a Venom 2. Like, who
Yep.
gives a shit? But
It's coming.
It's coming.
But like
Soon.
they
Coming.
confirmed that soon after the first Venom movie, where it's been 3 years since this movie, and we've gotten no fall.
Yeah,
Well,
but-
remember too, this was the Hail Mary of like, oh, Ben Affleck's doing a Batman movie, and it's gonna have
Matt
Deathstroke
Reeves.
in
It's
it,
gonna
and
be
like
so
we're gonna do
cool.
this thing, like
Yeah.
that was already.
And
done.
now that Joe Rigatoni doesn't even know if he's playing Deathstroke anymore,
You're not.
it's all
Spoilers, Joe.
fucked. Yeah.
Poor Joe.
Poor Joe.
man, they were teasing those photos all over the internet. Like, they were getting shown around. Like,
I forgot to watch that scene. I thought I didn't realize there's another one, but like, that's the same character. Oh no, Deadshot is what I'm thinking
Yeah,
from
it's a different character.
the Arrow, right?
Suicide Squad.
That's Suicide Squad. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
from the hero.
No, Arrow is Deathstroke.
Oh, that's Deathstroke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, Deadshot's in Arrow as well. So who are you talking about?
Doesn't matter.
The main bad guy with the
Syllables,
controlling
right,
mask.
Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Deathstroke.
Okay.
7 syllables in the middle. You'll need 5 for the first and last line. If you're not poetic, no need to fret it. Haikus don't need to rhyme. This movie is bad.
And this movie
hate
sucked the energy out of all of us today.
It's because you
you
just hate seeing things that are good.
You hate to
die.
see it. You hate to see it. You go to patreon.com/kindafunny to write your review in haiku form, just like Tristan Benz did. Unite the 7, my boy Hal Jordan's missing. This mess should have been heaven.
I like that.
Party McFly says, movie was okay. Still better than BVS. Fuck Ricky McFly. And then he follows up, hey, I'm just playing. Welcome, little bro McFly. I was here first, though.
Ah, okay, I get it.
Get a little extended universe in our
yeah.
haiku review.
Tucker say, not a great movie, but The Flash likes Blackpink, so automatic first. What's Blackpink?
Blackpink? I have no idea.
Something in his room.
Blackpink was the music video playing in his room. It's like a
Oh,
K-pop.
It's K-pop.
Oh, cool.
I wonder
cool.
if that's Tucker from
Carlson.
Toronto, Vancouver.
Nick Schreiber says, Steppenwolf was butt. Cutscenes were punch in the gut. Release Snyder cut.
Yay!
Pedro Guzman says, a lot of brooding as vigilantes unite, but it's not half bad.
It's whole bad.
I can't believe anybody's like, ah, it's not bad.
I have a lot of moments that I like for this movie.
Daniel Edmonds says, this movie's trash. It was trash 2 years ago. It's still trash today. Let's do a little ragu, motherfucking bag.
Ragu.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Rad Guys Talk Bad Guys, the show where we rank the DCEU supervillains. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the glue, Kevin Coelho. What's up?
Hey.
How you doing? You hot in there?
Oh, fucking,
Yeah.
I want this show to end. I'm burning.
Hispanic heartthrob Andy Cortez.
Why
Hey,
is
guys,
the
what's
fan
going on?
off?
And the Baby Blues himself, the Flash himself, at Tim Gettys. So far, the list stands like this, ladies and gentlemen. Number 1, Black Mask and Zaz. Number 2, Zod. Number 3, Rooms Lex. Number 4, Sir Pat. Number 5, Enchantress and her baby bro.
Who's Sir Pat?
Where do we want to put Steppenwolf?
Can we tie him with Enchantress
Yeah,
and Baby
crew,
Bro?
please. I think that
Like, they're both equally
bad, yeah.
awful. They're so bad, dude.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Sure.
Who's
They're-
Sir Pat?
I don't think it's that bad.
I think it's
Dude, Enchantress is just like, what the fuck is happening? At least this, you're like, okay,
Every-
he's trying to get the things to do the bad thing.
But every time you see it, it looks like shit, and you're always like, "Fuck! Why does it look so bad?"
I mean, I'm totally with you. It's not good. I think it's second to last. But I feel like Enchantress, it's like, I don't even know what you're doing.
Yeah,
Why
like
is your
there's-
brother here? This, it's like, all right, cool.
That's my
I'm a
first
bad
instinct
guy.
was to
From
put it in
another
the bottom.
dimension.
My My instinct was to go above her.
I guess.
Alright, fine, whatever.
Yeah, I think.
I don't care. This is
I
all
don't disagree.
crap,
I do
right?
think Enchantress is worse. But in terms of like, I don't give a fuck about either of these two things. Like on an equal level, they're both equally bad to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck it. It's above.
All right, there you go. Number 5,
Enchantress.
Steppenwolf.
Now it's time to rank the DC Extended Universe.
Cara
Currently,
Delevingne though.
the rankings are number 1, Birds of Prey. Number 2, Wonder Woman. Number 3, Batman v Superman. Number 4, Man of Steel. Number 5, Suicide Squad.
Some kind of Suicide Squad.
I say it's a shitty number 5. Suicide Squad drops to 6. I
agree.
I think Suicide Squad's awful. Justice League, I think there are cool moments, don't get me wrong. I think and it is a more straightforward movie than most of these movies, right? But I don't think it's good. I think there's a ton of wasted potential. I didn't enjoy myself.
I feel like this movie didn't upset me. Like Batman versus Superman, I walked out and I was like, fuck. I had a conversation in the car and like I was like, oh wait, no, yeah, there are problems there. I would put it at 3.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, my
The
problem
moments
with,
that I like
Better
here.
than Man of Steel.
Yeah.
my problem with this is that this is the first time in Kind of Funny in review history that like the list is not
Where
how,
you want it to
where
be.
I want it to be.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
I
like a
want
weird
Man of
thing.
Steel to be above Batman v Superman,
Yeah,
so that we can
definitely.
put this above Batman v Superman.
So, but that's my thing, and it's a maybe. It's
a
close
maybe.
because it's a push and
The
a pull
story
and
of-
stuff. But Batman v Superman, I said this earlier in this episode. It's like it tried something really interesting and cool, and like if it succeeded even a bit more, I'd give that one the for sure above this. But like, I enjoyed Wonder Woman. I liked Flash. It's like Aquaman was funny to me.
It's such an easy number 5 for me. I
Yeah, me
agree
too.
with Greg. I don't. This movie in no way got close to being as entertaining as Man of Steel or Batman vs Superman.
Mm-hmm.
I think those movies had cool story beats. I just so much of this I just intensely disliked. When it came to writing, when it came to characters trying to be lovable and fun on screen, like
It's all that. It's
so
the fact
tiny
that
of it worked.
we've beaten this horse in this episode, but like it doesn't look good. Like I mean, even if you hate the other ones, like they look good, right?
No,
There's
they
something
don't.
to watch. There's something going on where you're not totally distracted by
I
this
just
terrible
can't-
upper lip or this.
I
green screen
can't get
in of
past
people.
Man of Steel with his dad being like, "Don't save me." Fucking Batman versus Superman, the Martha moment. Like those are moments that like insult you and upset you or upset me to my core. Where it's like at
And
least
this movie doesn't do that to you.
no, it doesn't. Because it's like at this point, okay, I don't care about the villain, but like there's at least these people are having decent moments on screen sometimes.
Oh, see, I think that I'm with Tim on this one. If Man of Steel was at number 3, there'd be a little bit more of a debate. But for me, I cannot put this over Man of Steel.
Yeah,
I
me
think for
either.
one reason and one reason only, I think that Michael Shannon's performance as Zod was so outstanding, and I actually liked that. I liked that antagonist. I liked that he had interesting and complex motivations, and like was actually didn't see himself as like necessarily a bad guy.
But
And I love him, and I think they tried to do something different with that movie. It fell a little bit short, but
also his performance. Michael Shannon was good and entertaining.
awesome.
Steppenwolf was just a random video game character voice.
Yeah.
You know?
I do think that like while Man of Steel like those are facades. Like that's not like if you think about it for a second, like why wouldn't he just want to make the Kryptonians gods on this planet?
well, because
Like, you know,
and I get that, and you
it's
can
such
you
a-
can.
But I even
you
feel
can
like
debate
those
that,
are
but-
conversations. There's no conversation about Justice League.
Right. The thing that I mean,
There's
the
a stupid guy that got shoehorned in because they canceled his second movie at the last minute.
The conversation about
easy-
Justice League is, oh, there was a cool fight scene. There was a cool thing. The people we like to see are together. And I think like that was.
But we've
the
talked about
goal
them not
of this
having
movie.
chemistry, right?
Yeah, totally. But it's like, but then all the moments
But
that you're
they-
talking
they
about being
have
like,
moments
I
of
wanted
it.
more of this.
Yeah.
It's like it's them faking chemistry, like pretending they had it. It's not earned, but it's like that's the thing is like this movie just was like, hey, we're just gonna jump to those moments like a couple times and have them fight together and do shit.
Yeah, just I mean, going back to Zod for a second, just to look at the motivations between Steppenwolf and Zod, right? Steppenwolf just wants to come; he's a conqueror. He just wants to prove that he's the conqueror, right? That's those are the most thin possible motivations. With Zod, yes, you could argue why wouldn't you be a god in this? And I have in the past been like, wouldn't you want that? But if you take a step back, if you believed that you were a good person and you believed you failed your entire planet, that's really strong motivation for wanting to go and recreate that and like make up for that. And he feels like he failed Krypton because he was supposed to be the protector. He was the general that was in charge of like safeguarding this entire civilization. So him coming to Earth and wanting to recreate that makes sense. Steppenwolf is just so
He's
fucking
trying to
generic.
become a new god.
It's so generic. I'm a bad guy and I'm just doing bad things and I got no more motivations past. I just like to do bad things. I like to do war and it's just not fun.
I'm on the flip side of you of Man of Steel, where I didn't like the Zod stuff, and I like you're describing Thanos. Like Zod did not do that shit to me at all, but I liked the Clark stuff for the most part.
The first
dad
moment he
thing's
flew,
stupid. That shit's like
those
it's great.
moments are chill.
I love what they did with Superman. Of like, we're gonna make this thing, we're gonna ground this as much as possible. It's an alien on Earth, and how is the people gonna react to that? That stuff's cool, but Yeah, this fucking list.
Yeah,
Terrible
Time
goddamn
to vote.
movies.
Yeah.
I guess.
Who thinks it's better than Suicide Squad? Raise your hand. We all raise our hands. Who thinks it's better than Man of Steel? Raise your hand.
Nobody knows.
Kevin raises his hand. The new ranking of the DC Extended Universe. Number 1, Birds of Prey. Number 2, Wonder Woman. Number 3, Batman v Superman. Number 4, Man of Steel. Number 5, Justice League. Number 6, Suicide Squad. Next week, we're doing Aquaman. Things about to get fishy, ladies and gentlemen.
I've never seen it, man.
Really?
Yeah, I'm really
Oh, man,
excited.
you're into-
Now I know
for
Superman
something.
pops up. That's cool.
Oh no, he doesn't. That's,
All right.
Oh, he's dead again in this
Until
one.
next time.
It's pretty cool.
Keep on swimming.